Boom! We are live. Oh, geez, echo. All right, so welcome to Jackknife TV. This is, I guess, technically my official podcast, at least for right now. And yeah, I'm just going at it right now without a laptop or anything. And we're just going to see how it goes. Same thing as last time. I'm probably only going to have maybe a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour podcast here. I don't know if you can see me, but behind me is americold over here in oh I want to say it's Tobyhanna ish, but I know it's something else. I think it's Kavanaugh or something township. But yeah, it's pretty much Wake Firm, and we're just chilling until we get called. My appointment's not until I got to figure out where the cameras. I got you up on my TV too here. The appointment time's not until 2 a.m. So they said they might let us in at 9. I don't know. We shall see. Hopefully that works. So I'm trying to do this right now without a laptop because I had some problems with a brand new laptop out of the box, and I figured it'd probably be best just to send it back. And I don't know. I guess I'll get another laptop. I'm thinking about getting the same thing, but maybe different because it was a Samsung um, Book 3 360. It had the pen, the S Pen, and all that, but it just for what I was paying for it and to have it lock up 3 or 4 times. The first time it locked up was when it was being set up. So I gave it the benefit of the doubt, but 3 other times, to pay almost 2,000, well, yeah, $2,000 for a laptop and have it lock up 3 times in the first 2 or 3 days, and then once during setup, that's a problem. So, like I said, we're just going at it with the cell phone. Of course, I can't find my dual charger. I would throw that in so I could charge the phone, but we're just going at it. We already have a guest, so let's see who's in here right now. Oh, we got WCF Invader in the house, so we'll just bring him in right now. Let's see here. Yo, what's up? We got WCF Invader in the house. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. How about yourself?
All right, so like I said, I got some stuff pulled up on my TV as fast as it'll go. Hooked up to the internet. It's just a TV. So of course, the wireless, the one wireless keyboard I had that I brought along with me, figuring I could maybe get it to work with the TV. Apparently, it's not compatible. It's too old. So I'm just going on with the mouse here. So if I want to bring up some tacos. If I want to bring up some tacos. If I want to bring up some topics, I'm going to try to, but yeah, it's like running, I don't know, a computer from about 10 years ago. So what's going on with you? I guess you just wanted to stop by and say hi?
Yeah, well, got a call from the broker of my dedicator running. They're trying to cut the rate by $60 a day.
$60 a day?
Yeah.
Now, is that just a one-time day? So what? That comes out to
like $300 a week.
Like $350 a week or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, you're not paying high fuel prices, so it's all right now.
Right.
Have you been able to reason with him a little bit with that, or are you pretty much he's dead set on that?
I've so their issue is they know that I have really good service. Like, I've not failed them yet to where it was my fault. Like, anytime I'm late, it's just because it took too long to load. But I've not canceled a load for them or anything. So the broker agent's like, yeah, I know you're like, I can't say enough high praise about you. But he said my boss is trying to cut the rate. So he's got to ask me. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm tempted just to tell him, well, no, we're going to keep the rate that we've had. Because I even told him, I was like, look, I purposely took a lower rate in the beginning because I wanted to show you guys that the service that I could perform is what I say. and he understood that. But I got to email him tonight and give him an answer. But I'm thinking I'll probably just tell him that I'm not reducing my rate, and if they gotta go somewhere else, then they gotta go somewhere else.
Hmm. I was gonna say you can't reduce it up, at all. Like not even like I don't know, throw $50 at them or $20 at them a day or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm debating on. But the issue is, if I reduce it
I'd
now,
I'd probably I would probably throw like maybe $20 at them or something and be like, look, this is as far as I can go in this type of environment.
yeah,
Be like I'm still paying close to double for what tires cost. I know they came down a little bit, but they're
yeah,
still they're still just about double.
yeah, and so is labor. I mean,
And labor ain't coming down, so
yeah,
every other cost is still really high.
yeah.
So that's about the only thing is it a long term commitment basically?
There's no commitment, but I've been doing it since February.
Do you think you'd find something else?
Not so. I'd probably be able to find something better pay, but not better for like
Not
handling, because this is
Yeah,
local.
not consistency, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Be going.
Um, I mean, I would throw 20 at him and see what he says. I mean, worst comes to worst, you can cave later on, but
Yeah,
I would just be truthful with him and be like, so what's exactly going on? You guys are finding it cheaper on the spot market, or you got a lock bars or something hauling it cheaper, or what's going on?
well, I have a feeling because today was I had to get what is it, the valves adjusted in the engine,
Yeah,
and the
an
Cummins,
overhead. Yep.
yeah, the Cummins dealership said that the engine's got to be cold. So I normally do a overnight run, and I could have got it there by the time they open, but he said, well, the engine will still be hot, and they can't work on it if it's hot. So I told him weeks in advance that I was going to have tonight off, and so I don't know if they found someone who did it significantly cheaper for one night or what, and now they're like, oh, well, this carrier's going to do it for this rate, and we're paying the dedicated guy this rate. Why are we
and,
paying him more?
and
That's
maybe
kind of,
we can cut it out cheaper. Yeah.
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 But the issue is, the shipper gets complaints from carriers all the time. Well, not from carriers, but about carriers, I guess, because people will come there because it's overnight run. They expect it to be ready right now. Well, there's nights I'll sit there 3 or 4 hours and not complain. Most other truck drivers will sit there, and after 30 minutes or an hour of not being touched, they're complaining. And the guys had it like that. Like they tried to fire me off this run one time, and the shipper literally called the broker back and was like, "No, you get that guy back." So I kind of got a little bit of an ace up my
Now,
sleeve from that
are
aspect.
you
But
are you able to talk to the shipper at all? Maybe you could find out. Maybe they cut the rate. You think they might have
uh,
done that?
it's a third party,
Uh,
so the shipper or the receiver don't have anything to actually do with the broker. They know who the broker is, but it's a third party that actually handles the freight.
hmm. Yeah, I can see where that could be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, yeah, and
Well,
I've tried talking to the shipper and being like, "Look, y'all like me so much, why don't you give me some of your all's dedicated freight?" So far, they haven't
yeah, that,
though.
that all depends too. Like I said, they probably sign a contract with the broker and all that. So that's probably something involved in there too. Plus, I mean, it depends. Sometimes when they sign up with brokers, they sign up for like a specific lane.
Yeah,
Um, but other times it'll be all in. So if it's just that lane, you might be able to get away, talking to the shipper
yeah,
and picking up a different lane. But you got to read the contract you sign with the broker. Sometimes they have a lot of extra shenanigans, I guess you could say, in there. So
yeah.
that's the problem with that.
I looked into that, and I can't go to the third party logistics, but I could go to shipper or receiver because technically they're not the customer. If
Let's
that
see here.
makes
Let's bring up some comments. Try not to like bash the phone over here. So we got this trucking life in the house. He said, "Oh, here, it'll be easy for me to read off there." He said, "That sucks. Reduce your rates. Have they not heard of inflation?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
kind of what my initial thought was.
Let's see. Ray Law here. Brokers screwing the driver as a shipper. I see it every day. Yep, that does happen every day. I don't want to forget everyone else up here. Let me call a few people up on in here too. Well, there's you. You're in here, obviously. Oh, let's see. Call it Trouble 2101. Good evening. He's in the house. So there we go. I mean, if you want, if you're in here, I think I'm showing like 13 heads in the house. I guess you want to call it that. Hens in the house or whatever. Um, hit the like button. Share this out if you feel like this is any half decent content. Like I said, this is the first time I'm kind of professionally trying to go at it without a laptop and keyboard really to look at anything up on this I don't know 10-year-old TV computer, if you want to call it that. So, but yeah. So I mean, I didn't have anything really particular to talk about tonight. It was just going to be an open forum. There is somebody I've been trying to. Well, I tried to at least drop my email in on one of his live feeds. The Freight Coach, I believe that's his name. Yeah, if I look it up, it'll take 20 minutes. The Freight Coach. So he, he's basically a broker, and he's got his own dedicated customers. He also does flatbed. I think mostly flatbed, RGN and stuff. But I think he also does some reefer freight and dry van freight. But he had somebody on today. I guess there's another program that's trying to go out and basically vet some of these carriers and brokerages. So basically, what the guy brought up is if you look at some of the if you go into your like TPMS system with your transportation management system, he says, and you type in some of these addresses, he says you'll find that like you may have like 100, 200, 300 carriers working out of the same address. The same thing with other maybe co-sponsored brokers or whatnot, and it goes hand in hand. I think he brought up uh, specifically somewhere out in California where think it was something Brown Ave or Brown Street. He says where there's like 200 carriers operating out of the same address. So and they think they're double brokering too. So
Wow.
let's see. Ryan Law, flip flops and Freightliners are also taking $1,500 loads and bidding them down to $900. Well, probably to be honest, they're probably bidding them down lower than that. In fact, I know for certain there's somebody over in North Jersey that basically picked up my utility pole loads I used to do, and he drives a Volvo, which I have no idea how he still has it on the road because he has not fixed it at all. And the thing's a hunk of shit. And I'm guessing the only reason he hasn't been really knocked off the road is because the only scale he really goes through is he might hit the one scale on 80 when he gets off on 81 there in Pennsylvania, and the other one is the scale going into New Jersey on 80, and they usually only pull over box trucks and um, dump trucks. So very rarely do they pull an actual, you know, combination load in. So pretty much he just does what he wants and nobody bothers him. I know he was running like steer tires that had the steel coming out of them and all kinds of shit. Zip tied side flarings. They were just flopping around in the wind. Like sometimes they would, because they only had them zip tied on top, they would come up and like flop around up in the wind, the side flaring and all kinds of stuff. But he was able to do it. So, and the first time he came in to load these utility poles, where they were like, "Oh, you have bunks?" He's like, "Oh, we have bunks, yes, bunks." So he loads the bunks for these utility poles up, and supposedly he shows up, and they're not bunks. He just has stake pocket poles, for like loading PVC piping or maybe piping. and he doesn't chain them or anything. He just tells them to drop the poles in. So they drop the poles, start piling the poles up. They get to about the second layer, and it just bends his side rail off, and bends the poles over, and poles, the freaking poles fall off. So, I guess he brought two sets. So I guess he thought maybe 4 stake pockets on each side would hold. At least he could have went and took the chains and wrapped the chains around. At least, tried it that way. So at least the chains would have held the stake, the poles inward, instead of putting all the pressure on the stake pockets. But no, I don't know. So that was the first, the calamity with that guy. And I think they hired, or I don't know, hired, but contracted out the 2 other guys that were up there in North Jersey too. So, I mean, no, I'm not saying that everybody in North Jersey's particularly like that guy, but I'm just saying that's the kind of rate they got, and they didn't care as long as the poles got there without really killing anybody, I guess. And eventually they figured it out. So
Wow.
that's the same thing that's probably happening to you and happened to a lot of other people. It's just guys who can run a lot cheaper. This trucking life, yeah, and tracksuit. See, Ryan Law. Let's see if I can read it on here. Oh, there's a lag. I reject 2 or more trailers a week. Brake chambers leaking. Axles won't slide back. Floors have holes. Tires balder than a head. Well, I'll tell you what. For being a shipper, there ain't many shippers that are going out there and doing that. There might be a few now that might check to make sure the trailer's clean. They might check that the floor ain't falling through. There's not many actually going to go out and look at the trailer and be like, man, this thing's a death trap. You're probably one of the only ones. I will tell you that. The only time I've ever seen that kind of happen is flatbed loads. Like, same thing, carrying utility poles. There's a carrier that did some work, over there, come in and underbid it me and everything. But you could basically take your fist and probably just hit the side of his flatbed, and you could probably have your hand through the side of the frame on the flatbed. So that's the kind of shenanigans that went on. To alleviate that, what they did is they took bed liner and they sprayed the the frame rails in the flatbed, so you couldn't tell that they were pretty much paper rotting away. But hey, it held it together, I guess, a little bit. Maybe we were able to put a couple thousand more pounds on after they did that.
It's actually kind of clever to hide it.
But that's the kind of bullshit that's out there, and I'll get pulled in for a freaking flickering. What the hell did I get pulled in one time for? On the T800 I had a clearance light. It was flickering, and I even went up and whacked it, and it stayed on. And he's like, it's still inoperative. I was like, you seriously? He wrote me up a ticket for an inoperative clearance light.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah, it was over in Maryland.
Stupid.
So, yeah, but that shit's just running down the road every day and whatever.
Yeah,
and they get away with it. I think they've gone through like 3 or 4 different names too. That company. So I have no idea how they have insurance. The one time the guy came back, it was hilarious. Guy came back from the scales, pulled out. He's like, "Yeah, I got tickets and stuff." But they didn't put him out. I don't know how they didn't put him out of service. They let him bring the truck back. But he had like from here to the floor was violations he got written up for, and they let him still deliver the load and bring the truck back. So
I don't understand that.
I don't know. I don't know either. I don't
Imagine
know either.
how much our insurance has to be.
I don't know how they get away with it, to be honest with you. That's one thing I was thinking. I think they just change their name and then switch over to a different insurance company. Let's see. Ryan Law here. I'm loading 44,000 pounds of aluminum with 20,000 pound forklift. I have fallen through too many trailers and had a reefer. All the rivets popped out and the cross members fell out. No, this is very good. A good trailer. It built very well. But as you go underneath, and it's just like you can move the cross members around with your finger. But yeah, I mean, it's the kind of crap we see here in the trucking world. You get this, you get the equipment problems, you get all the scheming brokers and scheming carriers now, and it's just turned into an epidemic. So There was some news here I wanted to maybe blurt out. Oh, well, apparently AFB, we all know who they are. ABF, the LTL carrier. Apparently they're going to go on strike, which I kind of saw that coming because I think they're trying to link them up with Yellow. I think Yellow was talking about buying them out, or somebody was talking about going in with them. I forget where I heard that from, but yeah,
Geez,
here I'm trying to tell news, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. So let's see here what's going on.
I know a little bit about ABF. They were the best union
Oh,
carrier in LTL.
you know what? It's Art. That's who bought them out, I think, or became part of them. ArcBest. ArcBest. Is that who it is?
Yeah,
I've
they've
heard of them
owned them
too.
for a while.
Hitting buttons too fast. Oh, let's see here. They're trying to get into a 5-year agreement, but it still needs ratified. Yeah, and June 30th, ArcBest filed a injunction, I guess, to try to stop the strike and everything.
Might be a bad time to do a strike. It might.
Yeah, I know. That's what I would say. 97.7% authorized the strike. So I'm sure they're probably going after it for all the same things. I don't know. In my opinion, like right now, I guess what they're probably going off of, a lot of these Teamster unions and everything, they're going off of the big major profits all these companies had during 2002 and 2003. The problem, though, is this money's already gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the same thing, the inflation we see is the same kind of inflation they're seeing too. I mean, they might get some discounts, but still, they got the same kind of problems. Ryan Law said I can send pictures. If I had a laptop, that would be great, but I don't think I could. It probably would take me 15 minutes to sit here and type with a mouse and try to get into my email so I can bring up some pictures. But yeah, I mean, if you want, if you look at my page there, it's jackknifetv.info@gmail.com, and you could send those over there. And whenever I get another laptop here that's coming, I got to figure out which one I want to buy. If I'm going to downgrade to a different Samsung, and not the one I was looking at, or get some other kind of book. No, yeah, notebook. Not really a notebook, but laptop, I guess. I'm kind of gonna try to stay away from the notebooks. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Jerome Jones is in the house. He's always on here. He's like a loyal fan, just like you are. WCF. Um, let's see here. Like I said, I didn't really have anything planned. I'm just going at it right now. I just figured now's a good time. I have plenty of time on my hands. I'm almost halfway editing the video for me leaving New York City the other day. So I'll probably throw that up either sometime tonight or tomorrow night, or tomorrow, one or the other. And yeah, after that, I'm gonna probably put up like a little weekend thing with the family. I'll probably edit something out of that and throw that up over the weekend. And I don't know. I'm trying to see here with some decent new content. I don't even know what I'm doing for next week, so I can't even off the top of my head think on what I'm going to try to put out. So just trying to catch up from where I was. Hey, Rest Area Raccoon, he's also in here.
I love that name.
Yeah, I know. It's a good one. I just imagine, though, like raccoons, like, I don't know, running around with piss bottles or something. It's fucking trust. Oh, man. Oh, let's see here. Well, Nikola Trucks, they're still trying to hang on here. They're trying to vote to hand out more shares. I don't know if they're going to make it or not. To be honest, though, I know the sketchy stuff they played in the beginning kind of soured that company, but at least I've at least gotten close to one of their trucks, and they're a European truck, but their design is it's out there. It's foolproof. It's just like a retrofit, you know. So I would say compared to Tesla, that's probably the more stable way I would say to go, and probably more cost effective in the long run. At least for right now.
I think
Let's see.
you want to be the best
Drone,
out of them.
shout out Drone Jones. New York, New York City. Yes, New York City. That the last video I threw up, I was coming out of Hunts Point, so I got a little bit of me leaving, and then apparently the clip broke on my what is it, the Instago 2, so I kind of just gave up after that. I was a little irritated, so I lost all my. Well, I didn't lose it, but I wasn't able to take any other POV shots or anything. Yo, we got some royalty in the house. Wheel burners in the house. Hey, that is one sexy shaved face. He must be talking about you there, WCF Invader. Sure ain't me. I need to go see a barber. I don't know if I'll see one this week or not, but I just been letting it go. So
Yeah, it was from the charity. If you heard about that.
nah, the only charity I've heard about is I think James Best was doing one there for a little bit.
Yeah, Will Burner did one last Sunday.
Oh no, I did not hear anything about it.
Yeah. It's for St. Christopher's Truckers Relief Fund.
Oh, maybe that's what James was talking about. Maybe it was on his channel. I thought it was James was talking about it on his channel, but I guess maybe he was talking about Will Burner.
Yeah.
Let's see, Will Burner. Hey, Jackknife. What was the end result of those messed up clips on your truck? Oh, well, I don't know. It just happened today. So, I sent an email out to the supposed dealer rep that I bought the truck from, and they basically said to just take it into Kenworth and show them, and that they're probably going to warranty it. I'd imagine they will, because this is the someone else on here said that they had problems with it. They popped up in the comments that they were having problems with the I guess it's those little side flarings right there, the plastic cracking and them falling off. Now I knew the one rear part of it was cracked, and I just figured it'll be fine. How bad could it really rattle around? But I guess just over time it just cracked the other one, and then it looks like it just clips into the other flarings on the lower end, so it just decided to fall out without me knowing. So that's it is what it is. I'm a little irritated about it. At this rate, um, I don't know. I just feel like I've had way too many problems. I mean, they haven't been big problems, except for the alignment. The alignment, I'm kind of still really irritated about. But like I said, for spending $200,000 on a truck, it's just it's a little ridiculous. But then again, like everyone says, it's a plastic truck. So what do you want out of it? So
Yeah, you've had some. Well, it's probably been a good truck overall, but some of the issues that's popped up for you, it's pretty unfortunate with it being a new truck.
It's just they're little issues,
Yeah.
and they're just a nuisance. But you wouldn't think you would have it on a flagship line that Kenworth produces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you think they would have maybe, if not ironed them out in research and development, at least ironed them out before they got out. Like some of the rattling and stuff. You think they would at least been like, hey, dealers, when you go prep these trucks, we're gonna send you these little foam inserts you can glue in there or something, just anything.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the reason those fell off, to be honest, those little flarings, is just the truck vibrates as soon as you if you just leave it idle at all, it idles at 600 RPM, which is rather low in my opinion. And they probably keep it low so it uses less fuel for idling, but it shakes, real bad. Anything that's like a little bit loose, it just shakes. And I've been slowly kind of moving things around and putting little foam inserts here and there. But really, to be honest, the truck needs to idle at least 620, maybe 650 for the RPM, and not as low as it is.
I thought you idled it up.
Sometimes I idle it up, and just sometimes, I forget. I usually idle it up to about 700 RPM, because to be honest, for me to idle it up for if I have to, I haven't really had to idle a truck through the whole night, except for the few times I was up in Maine and we had that really cold spell. Like negative 50 wind chill or whatever. Then I idled the truck up at I think like 800 or 900, but that was just to keep the truck warm so it would continue to do regens. But the truck does regens on its own. As long as the temperature's up over 180 degrees, it'll do a regen. I would say if you leave it idle for, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours, it'll automatically do a regen, just like that. So it doesn't even mess around. Like the old trucks, sometimes you go 2 or 3 weeks even with it idling at night and it would never regen. This thing like I said, about every couple hours, if you have it idle overnight, it'll do a regen. I guess just for precaution, I guess. Let's see. We got I guess the comments are a little slow on here too. I know WCF Evader just said something. Let's see. For the price that equipment, you should be able to drive it for at least the first year without any hassles. Anything does break, Kenworth should be tripping over themselves to fix it. I tell you what, they weren't really tripping over themselves to do the alignment. That's for sure. And I knew for the fact if I would try to get the thing aligned right at the dealership I was at, the way how busy they were, I probably would have sat there for a week for them to get around to aligning the truck when I went to go pick it up. So I took it and figured I would just go to another dealership on my way down to Arkansas, or up to Arkansas with it because, I was like, shit, the truck only has besides the mileage it got put on it when it was delivered, it only had 1,000 miles on it, just about. So I figured it would be no problem with, hey, the alignment's screwed up on this thing. Can you fix it? And they kind of almost gave me a little bit of a hard time. They were like, well, we don't know. Maybe you left the dealership and hit a curb or something. I was like, this thing is, I said I would have had to blow through a curb. I would have had to do I'd have to do an F8, to the truck to really screw it up. I hate to say that, but that's the only thing. It's just the example I pulled up in my head. But it's and they gave me a little bit of a hard time, and they finally I guess they talked to a dealer rep and whatnot, and they decided to honor it. But even then, the dealership I took it to, all they had was some pads on the floor. They just threw it up on the pads, and they couldn't really figure out what was wrong with the alignment. They just did some toe and go, and I think they tried to do something with the shims that were in the rear, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the rear because I'm looking at the tires right now, the rear drives, and they kind of look a little choppy for only having 35,000 miles on them. So I think it's basically like how the Freightliners were coming out with the really screwed up alignments. I think that's the same thing that's happening with this truck right here. So eventually, when I get down into an area that has MD alignment, that's probably where I'm gonna do. I'll probably have MD alignment, do an alignment, and balance the tires and all that. Well, we'll go from there, I guess. Let's see this truck in life. Hold on. Oh, I guess it hit mute. Oh well. This truck in life. Always heard, never buy the first year of a new generation. Well, technically it's the second year. I guess next gens came out in 2002. So I don't know. I guess they didn't have enough off the assembly line to really figure it out because with the lockdowns and all that.
But they've had that Packard engine going a little bit though.
The Packard engine, it's pretty much the same as the rest of them. It does have some different attributes compared to the older Packard engines. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure the injectors are one of them. So far I haven't had no complaints except for a little bit of injector knock in the mornings, and it's kind of went away recently. I haven't had it or heard it real bad. So, I'm just going to knock on wood because I'm reading some of the Packard forums on Facebook, and, there's guys that are totally getting their, injectors, like they're on the second set injectors and they got 70,000 miles on it. So that, that's, we're just going to go and hope nothing like that happens because I don't need those problems to be down, a couple weeks at a time. Let's see. Cheap freight hauler. Jackknife, did you buy your truck from MHC? Yes. It came from MHC out of northern Houston. Let's see. Ryan Law. language checks kids in the video. Was I cursing? I don't remember cursing. I
No,
might have.
you were good. He
All
wouldn't
right.
be
Yeah, I'm
cursing.
trying not to. I'm trying to keep my mouth pretty clean here. Let's see. True. The wheel burner. You have upgraded injectors and cups and fuel rails. Yes, I guess that's what they do. They have different injectors, cups, and fuel rails on this version of the engine. I just wish I wish that you weren't having any problems with them. That's kind of a little bit of scary. I don't want to have to deal with that, but I guess it is what it is. What's kind of funny is I think on the very first, the 2013 emissions pack cars, I think they had the same problem with the fuel's getting too hot inside the injectors when you shut it off or whatnot, and whatever additives in the fuel is it's gumming them up inside. I guess it's turning into like a paste or something. Um, I forget the direct term for it. There's a term, acetafaf, something with an A or an F or something like that. I don't know. It's some kind of technical term, but that's what's been kind of killing the injectors. They're just too close in tolerance, and whatever the chemical makeup of the fuel that's inside them when they get hot, it's turning into like I guess adding deposits of what the hell the guy say it was, um, like charcoal, like some kind of charcoal like deposits. So who knows? It's just is what it is. As long as I don't have to pay for it, I don't, or have it happen multiple times. Let's see. Cheap freight hauler just hit 50,000 miles on mine next gen today. There you go. I'm at 35.9. That's where I'm at. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, knock on wood. I don't need to be replacing 3 or 4 different sets of injectors on it. Ryan Law, I will always send you pics and a video of a 2001 Peterbilt with a C15. One of my contractors has the pack car took a crap at 150,000 miles. Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing all kinds of stuff lately. There was a community post I put up that had a uh, what was it? I think it was a Kenworth. It was a Kenworth with a Cummins engine in it, and it literally got like 104 miles on the engine in it through a rod and everything through the side of it. So I don't know if it's because the shutdowns or whatever, but quality control right now is, out the window, I guess. Yes, wheel burner, carbon deposits. Yep, that's what's going on inside the injectors. But like I said, to buy a brand new truck and have like the engine blow up at 101 or 104, 124,000 miles or something like that. That's kind of ridiculous. To barely what you barely got away from the dealership like 3 hours that you picked it up from, and it blew up. Um, and the oil was good and everything apparently from what I read. So it's stuff like that that's really disheartening, especially if you're an owner operator doing it. These mega fleets, that's really what most of these newer trucks are catered to, are the mega fleets. They, that's like a little blip, one truck going down is a little blip on their radar. They don't. Yep. Uh, Asphatanes or whatever the heck it is. What cheap freight haulers got it.
Hey, Jack, I'm going to hop off. I'll be in the chat, though, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Yeah, I'll see you, WCF Invader.
Yeah, see ya.
Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, that's pretty much with the injectors and stuff. I'm hoping I don't have those problems. But like I said, with quality control with newer trucks, it's a crapshoot. I mean, you could buy a brand new $200,000 truck, and next thing you know, you barely get 3 hours away from the dealership, and you're on the side of the road. Yeah, no problem, W7 Vader. Yeah, it looked like you were starting to get a little preoccupied with the little ones running around anyway. So, I don't want to keep you from your family. But like I said, I didn't have any particular topics. I was just gonna wing it and see who popped on here because uh, I don't know. I just wanted to make a really good discussion about something, but I all the time in the world for the most part, at least until the phone dies. But there was something I was reading here earlier that I wanted to definitely bring up that I thought was rather important. like I said, I'm dealing with like a 12-year-old computer here. Oh, there we go. Oh, by the way, so far this T-Mobile gateway slash hotspot, whatever you want to call it. I had it up in Baldwin, New York, there at McLean, which is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. And I was getting like 75 megabytes a second upload speeds and 30 megabytes a second or 25 megabytes a second download. So so far it's been working really good. I mean, you can't beat it for $50 a month. Um, Hopefully they don't catch on. I would imagine now it's been about 2 years that people have been using it like this, either in their RVs or their trucks. And so far nobody's caught on to it. So, I'm definitely going to promote T-Mobile's gateway. Then again, like I said, I'm not really in the middle of nowhere, but if you're like, let's say in Wyoming or something, I doubt anything's going to really work. Your cell phone's probably going to be barely working out there. So far it's been good. I haven't had any problems. To be honest, I'm actually hooked up to it right now, um, on the Wi-Fi. So I got that going. I got the computer's probably. I mean, the monitor's probably not using that much, but so I mean, it's looks like it's working pretty good here. Cheap freight hauler. Cheap freight hauler. Use good fuel additives like Hot Shot Secrets or Fuel Ox. Well, actually, right now the dealership got a hold of me, and I guess they're doing a bulletin. And supposedly, I'm supposed to get a box of what is it? Fuel clean with a K. They're supposed to give it to me for through the winter and stuff. I was supposed to already get a case of it, but I have yet to have the dealership at my house call me up and say it came in yet. So who knows? I guess when I'm at the dealership, probably to get those flarings looked at and ordered, I'm going to ask them about, hey, where's my case of Fuel Clean? Because I'm going to probably, it adds up. So they're just doing it. Uh, I guess try to alleviate the problem until they get a new set of injectors made. Because supposedly that's in the works. Hopefully sooner and not later, but we shall see. Jerome Jones, I was saying yuck to New York City. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Nobody really willingly is like jumping up and down, I guess, unless you live out there to get out and do that. You know, I kind of know the area a little bit. I'm not, the be all, know all of New York City and Long Island, but I've at least been able to get over there when I did oversize at night and stuff and kind of stake out the place before total hell and chaos breaks loose, like in the mornings and stuff. Just like in that video, like I was showing on Sunday. It was calm. You can like kind of at least get your bearings straight. You're not under a lot of stress or thinking you're gonna get in an accident or bash people off the road and stuff. That's like the best time to go over there. And you know what? It's beneficial when you need a load back to, let's say, the East Coast or something. If you can navigate through New York City and out on the Long Island, the amount of money you can get, well, it depends, but the amount of money you can get to go out there and stuff and at least get you back to the East Coast, it's worth it usually. Sometimes, like especially when I did flatbed, um, I could take a Long Island load from, let's say, Chicago area or whatnot, and I was what, $4,000 or $5,000. This is back when rates were really good, but for $4,000 or $5,000, I can go from Chicago out to Long Island somewhere like Hicksville or whatnot, drop the load off, and sure, it's going to probably take me 3 or 4 hours to get home, but I could be home, even though it's only like technically like 140 miles, but I could still get home, and with the rate that high, it didn't matter if I came back empty. So, let's see, wheel burner. You have to remember, my friend, you are no longer buying a truck. You spent $200,000 on. Says new comment. You spent $200,000 on a computer Kenworth, threw the truck in for free. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And so far, the computer's been doing pretty good. So far, except for that one little DEF issue I had, but luckily it was actually DEF fluid. Because I was waiting for I was waiting for it to be a DEF quality sensor, because that's been the big thing that everyone's been having problems with. So I'm just happy that that's all it was just shitty DEF fluid, because that was gonna ruin my week, that's for sure. Ryan Law, don't laugh. $400 HP laptop from Walmart, and dump all the free stuff out of it. I have had one for 4 years and used it for business work. In the great in the limos and buses and coaches, up on paperwork. Yeah, I mean, I could get it just a regular laptop. I'm sure I could do StreamYard off just a regular laptop. The problem is, though, I do some 4K video editing, and I guess right now I'm debating whether or not to go with the cheaper laptop version of the Samsung I had. It'd be $1,200 instead of like $2,000. But it's either that, or I'm kind of looking. It's funny. Somebody told me that Gateway still makes laptops, and I think they're a subsidiary of somebody. But it's a Gateway Creator Studios laptop, and it's got like a Pentium 7 in it or something, or i7. So it's a decent laptop, decent video card, and it's like $7.99 or something at Walmart. So I'm going to look at that and see, if that's you know okay or up my value. Like I said, I haven't heard of Gateway since, man, I probably was like 2006. I mean, not 2006. 96. 96 is probably the last time I think I heard or saw a Gateway computer. So, the one with the cow. So I don't know. I'll probably take a look at that and see how that goes too. So let's see. Before that, I was using a Toshiba. Yep, I had an old Toshiba. Still the HP for home and after closing my business. Yeah, I mean, for business stuff, Word, PowerPoint, most decent new laptops will do that. I just wanted something that would be able to do multiple. If I pulled up like multiple sources on the web or something and streamed it, and then like I said, like some 4K video editing. I didn't want to sit there for 3 or 4 hours while it rendered a 10-minute, 4K video. Wheel Burner Express. I will go to New York City anytime, but it will cost you big time. Yeah, that's pretty much how I kind of feel about it. Maybe not the city. I mean, there's a few times I've kind of done some questionable things, like running a flatbed through the Lincoln Tunnel. Was it the Lincoln Tunnel? I guess I think it was the Lincoln Tunnel, off of Manhattan into New Jersey. Off the top of I don't know. Like I said, I don't keep track to it. I just know it was the quickest way to get off of Manhattan where I was at, and I knew the height was, I wasn't gonna have any problems with height, so I just said screw it and did it. But that's a big no. So I don't advise doing that. But that was in my little bit younger renegade trucker days. That's also when I think, was I running paper logs still back then? I may have kept 2 paper logs. Let's just say that. You know, when you can do 1,000 miles in one shift, you did something a little funny. Let's see, this trucking life. All I got to say is, being a driver for Walmart is a different life. Much better in in every way. I'll retire from here. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't try to look at any company like that anymore. I've already had companies where I thought I was going to retire at, or that I thought was, the B knees. Like there would be no reason to leave. And then, what happens? Different management comes in, or the company shifts, or maybe gets bought. Walmart's never going to get bought out. But next thing you know, you're treated like crap, or they start screwing the laws and regulations or whatever they decide to make up on you, and it's like hell coming to work every day. Now, when I was at Matt's, I talked to a guy with Walmart, and they're definitely going to grow the Walmart fleet because what they really want to do is they want to push out Swift, they want to push out Stevens Transport and all that. They want to run 100%, 100%, Walmart fleet, which I don't think they'll ever get there, but they're probably going to come pretty close, I would imagine. Uh, but then again, Walmart's also looking into all that autonomous trucks and everything. So all the sparkling water I drank, jeez. Um, but don't say never. Always keep a plan B in your back of your head. Because I've been way too many places. Like I've been to the union LTL carriers. Um, I worked for a bakery that was a union, delivering baked goods and stuff. And I thought I was going to retire from there too, but things change. Different union reps come in. Well, I mean, you don't have that problem, but different union reps come in. Different managers come in. It's not the way it used to be. Companies used to kind of, if they had a good, hardworking employee, they didn't want to have to keep looking for somebody else. They would, kind of take care of you. Man, those days are a little iffy now. Uh, let's see, this trucking life. Yeah, yeah, I'll be getting out of the truck with Walmart. Yeah, I will be getting out of the truck with Walmart. Uh, what do you mean getting out? I guess try to take like a management role. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. You're going to try to take a management role with inside Walmart. Let's see here. Ryan Law, Sam Walton's daughter is married to the owner of Swift. They will always have secondhand carriers. Warner has made a huge push into Walmart. I didn't know that. I know Sam Walton had a son. I didn't know he had a daughter. I know his son died mysteriously, um, but I didn't know he had a daughter. Uh, you would think she would have more say in the company. I mean, from what I understand, Walmart's pretty much been like taken over by board members and investors. Like, there's no real family really doing anything with Walmart anymore. Hey, we got some more royalty in the house. We got Cassius King is here. He's congratulating this trucking life. He also said that Swift is a publicly traded company. Yes, they are. So yeah, with a publicly traded company, I mean, even like the CEO or technical owner, like I don't know if anybody pay attention to. I don't want to try to get political here. It's just bringing up a topic, but Project Veritas, the guy that founded that, he pretty much got pushed out of his own company by the board. So I mean, I'm guessing that can happen too with like Swift or even Walmart and stuff like that. Um, let's see, Wheelburner Express. From what I understand, the daughter actually runs the company and is the wealthiest of all the Waltons. That's weird. I've never heard anything about that. Like the last thing I heard is, I heard that Walton had kind of a mingling there with JB Hunt, um, or no, not Walton. Was it Walmart? It might have been. Well, I know Home Depot definitely did. But I heard there was something with that. I heard that his son was pretty much next in line to take over the company, and then he mysteriously died. Um, I mean, I think they said it was a heart attack, but some people are saying that there's a little bit of discussion on what's going on with that whole thing, like a little bit of a conspiracy theory. Um, let's see, Will Burner is correct. Cash is King Trucking. Sam Walton had 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl. It's pretty easy. It's called Google. Well, yeah, I know. I mean, I could Google it. But I guess I watched a documentary about it. I guess about his museum out there in Arkansas. Was it Arkansas? So I just figured, from what I heard off of that, he had his son and he was next in line. That's weird though. You would think if the family was still involved in Walmart, that they would. I don't know. In my opinion, Walmart has kind of changed a lot compared to when Sam Walton ran it. So you would have thought the family would have maybe kind of kept the legacy alive, if you want to call it that. But it's kind of, in my opinion, turned into like, I don't know, Wally World, if you want to call it that, like hell on earth practically. Let's see. This trucking life. There's opportunities to get out of the truck, but Walmart takes darn good care of their drivers. I've sat through several trainings with several trainings about Sam Walton and his values. Yeah, that's what I was saying. When Walmart was actually ran by Sam Walton, back in the good old days, I think, that's the Walmart I kind of grew up with and remember. This Walmart, as far as I'm concerned, is like a corporate, I don't know, takeover kind of thing. Like I said, it's kind of sad that they kind of go off his coattails there about that, at least in my opinion. But I mean, it was a good company to begin with. I mean, I remember hearing, I think it was in New Jersey, Sam Walton actually visited a store, and I guess there was a cashier that's worked there for like 10 years or something like that. And, I guess he just noticed that she did a real good job and everything. And this was like in the mid 90s, I think. He ended up giving her like a $20 an hour, she was a $20 an hour cashier in the mid 90s. That stuff don't happen probably anymore in Walmart. It's probably a little more corporate entity. Sorry, it's JB Hunt. She is married to, I think her name is Alice or Al. Yeah. Yeah, Walmart hires, this is from Cash. Walmart hires CEOs for what's in the company. None of Sam's kids want to do anything with management. They're too busy spending billions of dollars. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, that's great for them. I mean, I don't know. I just feel that the actual legacy of Sam Walton, at least from like watching the documentaries and stuff that I've watched of him, I just feel that kind of went by the wayside. It's a little sad, because I believe with how big Walmart is, they could probably do a lot more good than they do, and I mean good, like actual good, not like the fake virtue signaling stuff that they do. Um, because if they were able to pay some of their employees $20 an hour back in the mid '90s, I'm sure they could easily do that again. Uh, but it you got shareholders, so it's just that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's the game mega corporations play. Ryan Law, I was thinking Swift because I was reading an article about them looking into buying an LTL carrier. Yeah, they were. I think they did buy an LTL carrier. I don't know. Cash probably definitely knows. Like I said, he's does his whole trucker news. He's got that like down pat, and he always has a laptop in front of him. Like I said, I'm dealing with like I don't know, whatever you want to call it, using the little computer inside this monitor right now. Uh, so like I said, even though I wanted to look up the Walton thing, I would have to like type it out word by word because the wireless laptop, I mean not the wireless laptop, the wireless keyboard for some reason doesn't work with it either. So let's see, this trucking life. There's a lot of 20 and 30-year-old guys here, and doesn't feel like corporate uh, corporate deal. Feels like a family. I've never seen anything like it, and I've worked for 4 different trucking companies. Well, I mean, I guess that too. It also depends, I guess, what hub you're out of. Um, I don't know. Everyone's got a bad story about somewhere, so that's good though that you were able to score something like that. And like I said, hold on to it as long as you can, unless you think you could do better. Uh, that's about the only time I would say, maybe start looking elsewhere. Or like I said, if it uh, starts turning a different way. Me personally, I don't know. I guess I could deal with the cameras for a certain amount. The problem is though like the smart the drive cameras, the smart cameras and stuff. I was a night shift manager and I used to have to review those, and we were, it would pick up automatically on things you were doing. and I was supposed to go in and coach people about it and stuff. And some of the things, uh, like the guy take a sip of his drink, or he yawned, it would pick up that, like the guy yawned, and I'd have to coach them and talk about whether they're tired or they're getting enough, like just little things. It was just, it was a big waste of my time that I could have been used like actually doing other more meaningful jobs than coaching guys that have had their CDL for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, stupid stuff like that. Um, Walmart has provided 400,000 meals to Christopher's victims and where have heart where they do something special for terminally ill kids in the community, plus the Miracle Network. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't say that they don't ever do anything, but I mean, they do a lot of other evil things too. I mean, I don't know. I just remember the Walmart of yesteryear, I guess, mostly, and the new Spark Walmart. Um, but I mean, it is what it is. All companies have a dark side to them. So I'm not trying to call out Walmart here, really. There, I'm just saying. Um, let's see. There's Trucking Life. Where'd he go? I hope they can hold off the corporate deal. Yeah, I mean, uh, I don't know. It's usually inevitable what happens with that. But I mean, wherever you're at, you sound like you're in a really good DC there. I imagine that's where you drive out of, is a DC. So, I would keep it as long as you can and stay there, because the some of the things I've heard about the DC over here in Pottsville, I don't know. Like I said, you usually hear the negative all the time. Um, I know when I was starting out, I kind of always wanted to be a Walmart driver, and you never heard anything about Walmart drivers. And then I would say probably in like the last 5 to 10 years, it's kind of been trickling out. So I don't know. Like I said, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Keep trying to use the mouse to click on my damn cell phone. Walmart company drivers are the best taken care of drivers on the road. Yep, that's what I've always heard. Um, I've gotten used to the cameras, but I get what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. When as long as they take care of you and you can put up with the cameras, I mean, there's there's no problems like that. Like, I know somebody that worked for Saya, and I guess it came up on time for his free insurance. I guess if Saya will end up giving you, like, paying 100% of your insurance. Saya is an LTL company, and I guess he said when it came up on that time, next thing you know, they started nitpicking like everything he did, nitpick the cameras and stuff. And he feels that they almost were trying to like get rid of him so they didn't have to pay the free insurance on him. Let's see. Ryan Law. XPO is another company that takes really good care of their drivers. I don't know. XPO has a um, big shoes to fill, because I think I don't know if a lot of their drivers are still there, but it used to be Conway. It was Conway Freight. All right, yeah, Conway. They bought out Conway, and from what I remember hearing, people used to always say good things about Conway. I never heard anybody say anything bad about Conway Freight. It's almost like Old Dominion. You don't really hear anybody really say bad stuff about them either. 53 step. I don't ever want to drive for any company but mine. Hey, I kind of feel the same way too about it. But I mean, if worst comes to worst, probably some of the companies I would look at would be like Walmart, some of the bigger LTLs, Saya, I guess. But at least they'll pay you real well. But that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's others, a lot of heavy haul and flatbed companies I would probably look into. But once you go owner operator and you actually do half decent, it's kind of hard going back. Like everybody says, hey, I'll just jump on with Walmart. And I mean, I'm pretty sure um, even this Truck and Life, he probably felt a little shitty about it at first. But you know what, though, after, especially if you're leaving it in a stressful situation, after that stress and everything just, you relieve yourself from all that worry and stress. It's probably like, you know, you could probably put up with a lot. It'd probably be one of the best jobs you ever worked after dealing with some of the things owner operators deal with on a daily basis when, when everything starts going wrong. Everyone will come on and talk about how great being an owner operator is when everything's going right and you're making money, and they'll show every little aspect of, look, this is where my money's coming from, this is what's going on. But then when things really get bad, that's when that's when the videos start, getting a little here and there, and they don't bring up every single little bad moment. Those nights where you're sitting there laying in bed, um, wondering, what days my insurance come out? Do I have money in here? I've had 3 breakdowns this month. Am I going to bounce this check in insurance? Uh, Christmas is coming up, and here I am sitting freezing in a truck, uh, 400 miles away from the house because the engine blew, and I'm scared to spend any money because I don't know how long this is going to take for me to get back on my feet. So I'm sitting here on YouTube freezing in a truck. You know, that's the stuff that guys don't usually put out. And I think it's a little bit of a problem here actually with capacity and the way things have been going. Wheel Burner Express. Up here in Canada, Walmart still uses third-party logistics for all of their store deliveries. You will see Walmart trailers all over the place, but they don't have Walmart trucks delivering. Walmart trucks or drivers yet. I remember back in the day when Walmart was like that down here, a long time ago. I mean, I could see why, Canada, they probably don't want to get into that. I'm sure it has something to do with regulations with drivers and probably insurance, and who knows. I mean, if they can find a way to do it cheaper, they'll find a way to do it cheaper. But I think in the States, at least from what they see, it's cheaper to have their own company drivers doing it. I guess in the long run. And I'm sure they're tired of watching their trailers get rolled over by Swift and people videotaping Swift doing stuff with Walmart trailers on the back of them and all that other stuff. I'm sure Walmart does not want to associate their company or their drivers with, dealing with any part of that. Let's see, Wheel Burner. The day they start hiring company drivers in Canada, I will sell my truck and go work for them. Yep. Let's see, Ryan Law. I was a passenger carrier owner of 41 vehicles total. 19 of them were MCI J40 J4 4500 motor coaches. Contacts me up. I wouldn't get back into it for anything. I don't miss the inspections and late night calls. Yes, exactly. That's one thing I tell a lot of guys when that are thinking about hiring other drivers and stuff. Um, you know, they're out there with your truck, your equipment, and everything. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and you get those phone calls when they have problems or they cause problems, and now you're sitting there waking up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and you got to figure out how to fix this. And even throwing money at it sometimes, especially at that time of night, ain't gonna fix the problem usually. And it's usually not just one problem. So it's not like the reefer doesn't decide to break when a trailer's empty. It's going to break when you're full of ice cream. So now you got to figure out who can I get a hold of to offload the ice cream, or to get, come out and, diagnose this reefer ASAP. Things like that. That's when shit will hit the fan. And it's always going to be like a midnight call or 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning or something when, you can't really find anybody to help you out. And, that's the shitty part about it. And it's a shame that it doesn't get on YouTube that much. Just to have guys maybe sit down and devise a business plan or think about who they're hiring and what they're going to demand. Because I was just all right. So I wish I remember the exit. So I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm going to say it's a Toby Hunt exit. It's probably not the Toby Hunt exit. So there's off of 380 here in Pennsylvania. There's a Burger King, and there was a small, I believe it was a small company because it was a husband and wife interviewing a guy for their truck, and I just kind of tried to listen in as much as I could. But so far the guy that they're looking at, I'll give him this. At least he was dressed up in a nice button down, nice dress pants, and decent shoes. You to have a truck driver show up like that, you're already batting better than most of their interviewers probably. Usually, a lot of times I ever watch a truck driver show up, they're in like a dirty t-shirt and flip flops or whatever. So at least that guy's already got that going. Now, what caught me really off guard is this is how desperate I think these people were. It sounded like they had like a small fleet. They were basically telling the guy, like, look, if you do, drugs, like mostly just pot, don't do it in a truck. Don't take it with you. Don't, do it on your 34-hour break off time and stuff. And I'm just sitting there listening to this. I'm like, what's this guy gonna do for randoms when his drivers get called for randoms? And it sounded like he's already had this problem before. And it, at least looking at him and his wife, they seem like upstanding people. But it looked like they probably just need the truck to move is really what the problem is. And they've been having a problem with the marijuana problem. And I didn't hear the name of the company and stuff, but I was going to walk by and say something, and I don't know. I just thought it really wasn't my place, because he was still technically in the middle of an interview or whatnot. But yeah, like shit like that. You gotta if if anything, God forbid, anything were to happen, and the court system came down or the FMCSA, they would probably ask that guy, like, hey, what made you thought you could do this? And he'd be like, well, the owner said, and they would look at the owner. You're talking about, jail time and big fines, especially if somebody gets hurt or killed. You're going to go to jail with, manslaughter 2 or 3 or something, even though, you weren't driving the truck for doing crap like that. And, it's a shame that the guy's probably being desperate, to be honest, with the way the market is. That's the only thing I can think of. But like shit like that, it doesn't really make it out here. All the little back alley, things you got to do to survive, or think you got to do to survive. Like I said, all you ever hear about the guys making $12,000 a week, and that, buy my plan, get hustled into this. That's all you ever hear about. Um, and it's the same thing about a lot of these companies too. You always hear about the good. So I mean, I guess I've been screwed enough times that I'm really cautious. I mean, you know, like there's companies I've been to that I've sounded like this trucking life where I'm like, yeah, they're the best and stuff, and then a year later I'm like, at least they started out with some lube and now they're just throwing sandpaper on it. It's just I just seen good things take a shit way too many times to get my hopes um like that. I remember getting like that. I miss those days of where thinking that everything was going to be great and I was well taken care of. And that's one reason that also pushed me into the owner operator thing too a little bit, is I was just tired of seeing things change. But now instead of watching a company change, I'm watching the economy like every 4 years or so like blow up. So it's the same thing. It's just a different way to view it, I guess. Jersey Trucker. Hey, Jackknife. Hope all is well. Yeah, all was well. Just $200,000 truck losing pieces on the side of the road. That's all. That's about the only irritating thing that's been happening lately. Uh, well, we're not really talking about anything. I guess we kind of got into a discussion a little bit about Walmart, and what they got going on. A little bit about the Kenworth problems. And now I don't know. We're just going at it. Any different topic. Nothing in particular. Nothing in particular. Just you know whatever you bring up. I guess I'll speak my piece on it. Let's see, Ryan Law. My first question in the interview was always, how many CSA points do you have? To be honest, though, I used to always look that up before I even got hired. I mean, if they were like trash, I didn't want no parts of that because I want to be able to move from a different company when shit goes south. So I definitely are right about that. Uh, see, Ryan Law. Look at the limo company owner that got life in prison because his driver killed 20 people. Is that the one limo you're talking about up in New York where the limo went out with no brakes, really? And I think they had a whole wedding party in the limo or something. Are you talking about that one? I think that's the one you're talking about. Happened like 4 or 5 years ago. They like wiped out the entire wedding party, like the whole family. Like the family was gone. Like the whole family's wiped. I think their kids were the only ones that like weren't in the limo, so I think some of their kids survived. Like it took out whole family names. Yeah, that was pretty screwed up there. Wheel Burner Express. Look at the bright side. You could be a piece of junk truck losing using $200,000 worth of parts on the side. Yeah, I was there too. Well, it wasn't losing $200,000, but I was definitely losing major parts. Like I said, I bought that International 9400 for 26,000. I put $5,000 on it. I had $30,000 in the bank still after I bought it, and within a year, it ate that $30,000 up, and probably another $30,000. Just working capital. It never really broke down on the road, thankfully. But I mean, it was just never ending stuff, and it wasn't like things you would see. It wasn't like brakes, or that was all taken care of right there in the beginning. It was like the differential went bad, or the power divider. You can't unless you pull it apart, you're not going to see what's going on in there. It wasn't making noise or anything. It just happened. The injectors. I knew it was going to probably need a set of injectors. I just wish it didn't go out on me when I was out in Yellowstone National Park out that way. Um, that took a big hit. That was like $3,800 to replace one injector, or $3,500 or something. Um, which now thinking about it, I could have probably did myself if I would have pulled out in front of maybe a Harbor Bay Freight. Um, I should have just tried doing it, but I just figured I would screw something else up. I'd be out there in the middle of nowhere, you know, um, trying to time, well, not time, but trying to do an overhead after I did the injectors, because you got to pull. It's an overhead cam, delivered cam, so they ran off the injector, so you got to pull all that crap apart. So I just let the Kenworth dealership do it, and it's still look. I did all that work, and the motor blew up, and I was always figuring I would just save up enough money to at least be able to put a used engine in. But when it blew up, the market took a shit. I was at the end of I spent a lot of money on the truck. And it was to the point where I could be like, well, do I want to try to take what money I saved up and see if I can't beg someone to load me a rebuild loan at, I don't know, like 35% interest or whatever, or, go another route. So I left the little money that I had still left in savings. I sold my pickup truck and I put it down on this. It was 1,000 times easier to buy a new truck, to get into a newer truck like this than it would be ever to get into like a used truck. At least I guess the way the market's going now. Um, then again, I've also had an LLC since 2019, so I am established. That does make a big difference too with credit and things like that. Uh, let's see, this trucking life. Hell, it's Walmart private fleet. You can't go wrong. Just feel like there's too many unethical people in the market, and people doing the right thing are barely making it unless running for a carrier. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. There is well, I don't know. Some people you don't even hear about. Like some people don't even get on YouTube. I mean, I've talked to a few people at the truck stop that seem pretty genuine, and they're doing good. But like I said, they've come out with a business plan. They've already made connections. Like I said, a lot of it's about who you know, not necessarily what you know. And you know what? That's almost in any business. you can screw up a lot as long as you have dedicated customers and somebody behind you willing to still buy your shit or buy your services. Um, you can dig your way out of some mishaps. And I've some people just have that. They have that connection with people. They make those connections. They get on YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, and they just have that charisma about them, and they just gain customers that are very loyal. Um, it just goes like that. I guess I'm going to be burping like halfway through the night. Ryan Lowe, yes. Cheap freight hauler. Uh, Falling pieces should be covered under the first. Yep. That's what I was told too. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call up the dealership probably tomorrow and at least tell them what's going on, and hopefully they can order the pieces so I don't have to like wait for so I can just show up. Maybe I might have to stop by and at least show them, but I'm just going to email well, not that video, but I'll email a video to them or pictures. So I'm sure they don't want to see me calling out, Kenworth. And I really don't want to call out Kenworth. I mean, but come on, it's Kenworth. This ain't no freaking, Freightliner. No offense to anybody that owns Freightliners or shit. It's, you're talking about the difference between a Chevy Impala and, I don't know, I wouldn't say a Rolls Royce, but a Cadillac Escalade. I don't know. And I'd imagine there's Peterbilt guys are having some kind of same problems too. So it's a shame that we're in the world that we're in, especially when you buy stuff for $200,000 and have those kind of problems. Ryan Law, that international leaked a gallon of oil on my brand new concrete on my dock. You're talking about mine? I know mine was leaking there for a while. It wasn't that bad. Well, I think it was a fuel. I think I had a fuel leak was the real bad one. I don't know. Have I delivered to you? Hmm. Maybe I have. I can't think off the top of my head. Sterling, yo, what's up? Sterling is in the house, Mr. Motorcycle freaking bandit. All he needs to do is start whipping the chain out. Get the chain whipping. What the hell was that called? Oh man, I used to play it all the time on Sega. Um, oh my gosh, I forgot what the game was called. Uh, anyway, I guess I'm showing my age here a little bit. Let's see, Sterling. I seem to recall never having a flaring issue on a Freightliner in 20 years. Yeah, you are right about that. I've never had a issue either with a flaring on a Freightliner. They either were there or they weren't. And I would mostly judge that by the drivers that drove the truck, before me. Oh, you know what? Is that when I did that's when I did the the aluminum coils there, Ryan Law? Is that where I'm thinking you're from? It's been a while. Yeah, I kind of miss doing crap like that. I think that's when I did the aluminum coils there. They were palletized aluminum coils too, if I believe, right? Yeah. 53 step. What kind of mileage are you getting out of the truck? Broken in now. Well, empty. I'll get up to like with the trailer on empty. I can get up to like 11, 12. Loaded, I would say an average loaded is I'll say like 9. I think I came out with like 9 too. But there's days that'll have good days and stuff. And when I mean loaded, I mean like 38 to 42,000 pounds. Um, there's days where I'll actually still get around 10 miles, 10 miles a gallon loaded. If I just let it do its thing, if I start getting crazy with it and pulling hills hard and downshifting it, I think the worst mileage I can get this thing down to is like 8.2. Um, usually if I'm beating on it, it'll be in the sevens. But by the end of, we're usually whenever by the end of the trip, I'm usually in the eights, like 8.2, 8.5. It's fabulous on fuel. I forgot how many rounds I ran last week, but I think last week my fuel cost was like $825, and I had to do over 2,000 miles, I'd imagine, and that's with getting fuel up here in like Pennsylvania and stuff. Like I said, I don't. I haven't really been keeping track. Like I was there for a while, I was writing everything down, and when I started seeing that things were like really good, I got lazy and just stopped doing it. Or I would bring out that little book, at least have a better estimate than what's in my head. Yeah, I know. I don't kind of technically know my numbers, I guess you could say. Um, let's see, Wheelburner Express. Oh, I guess the comments are rolling in here like crazy. Yeah, there you go, Sterling Road Rash. Yeah, man, I couldn't freaking think of that to save my life. Good old days. Yo, cool 80K is in the house. Carlos 80K is in the house. What's up? Uh, Ryan Law. Yeah, 41K of coils last year at this time. Yeah, was that with the reefer? Did I do that with the reefer? I mean, I probably did. I can't remember. I was there with the flatbed or reefer. I think I was there with the reefer. I think I took those coils up to Illinois somewhere or Indiana. Let's see, Little Neo. Did you go to Bush's Beans when you went to Pigeon Forge? Good little food spot. I wanted to. We didn't really get to do it. The first day down there kind of got a little screwed up with my dad getting kind of like annihilated by a semi truck. But yeah, we pretty much did a few things. I wanted to go see Bush's Beans, and then I also wanted to do oh, go what the heck was it down there? And I wanted to go do. Yeah, I forgot. I think it was a distillery I wanted to see, and it wasn't the big one. One of the less known distilleries, I guess. Let's see, Wheelburner. There's no difference between your Kenworth and a Freightliner when it comes to plastic flarings. It's all some plastic. You're just cost more because it says Kenworth on it. Yeah, because it's got the pack car stamped on it. Yeah. Uh, Carlos 80K. I'm just getting my license. I'm just getting license for Class A CDL. Haven't had the best attitude about life because of how hard it is. Any advice on how I can make it work for me as a career? I do love to drive. Well, I guess that depends there, Carlos. Are you having, a problem with taking the test? I guess the actual driving test, or do you actually have the CDL already? Are you just looking for a job now? That's really the hard part you're doing? Um, I mean, if you're really having problems with the CDL test, the actual driving test, my best advice would be to, if you can, see if you can't find somebody with a CDL or an owner operator maybe you could hire, and just have them take you to a large, like industrial space where there's, it's kind of deserted. And I'm not talking about like one where it's, I mean, go on the weekend and stuff, and just practice backing into stuff, backing in to docks. I mean, this is if you're half decent. I mean, if you're right now at the point where you're just like randomly backing up and can't keep the trailer straight and stuff like that, you might not want to get into something like that real quick. You might want to take it easy and maybe see if you can't continue to train with the company that's either the company or the school that's training you. See if you can't do any extra training. Maybe even pay the trainer or something. Um, because like I said, I mean, I know everybody wants to improve their life and get out on the road fast and go from making $25,000 a year to making $60,000 a year, and that's great. I'll tell you what though, when you get there, you're going to catch up real quick with that 60K, and you're going to want to go harder and higher. And usually the next steps like owner operator or getting on with like Walmart or something like that. But that takes experience, and I like I said, I know people want to get into this and make more money than what they're already doing. The problem though is the way I see it, this is still safety oriented. I mean, if you honestly have, like, let's say you've taken a test 5 or 6, 8 times and you failed it, maybe trucking isn't for you. I hate to say it like that. I mean, like I said, I haven't looked down in the comments, seeing what you wrote, but I'm just going in general, saying off the top of my head how I kind of feel about that. So I mean, if you're, take what I say. Don't exactly take what I say with a grain of salt, but I'm not trying to come down hard on you. I'm just saying that, um, there's innocent people out here that can be affected by, maybe not being the best knowledgeable driver behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. Let's see. Step 13, nice. Sterling, Mexico knows how to build freightliners. Yeah, freightliner trucks, which says a lot for PACCAR. Yeah. I don't know though. That didn't Freightliner have a problem there with them catching fire there for a while, and then another problem with like the steering wheel, like just not the steering wheel, but the steering knuckle or something coming off. And I mean, they're all junk, to be honest with you. Now, in my opinion, I think unless you go back to the good old days when they were built by like proud Union American labor, and even then, I'm sure you had Monday trucks and crap like that. But like I said, it's just especially this truck. To be honest, this truck was technically built during the pandemic too. That probably has something going for it. Like I said, I'm supposed to have LED headlights. I don't have LED headlights. I'm supposed to have technically was supposed to have my um, electric APU and all that stuff. I don't have any of that. That all got saved up for the mega fleets, whatever they could get, and shortages and stuff. But for the most part, it just is what it is. I'm trying not to get too mad about it. Um, I also think of like this way, like that 9400 was pretty nice for the age when I had it. Yeah, polished tanks, nice polished steers on it. It looked pretty nice. And then the guy, I guess, pulled out and grabbed the bumper and fucked the hood up and everything. And after that, it looked like like a Joe Blow 9400, flip flop wearing truck, and that also weighed on me too. But hey, the truck was still making me money. In fact, if that truck could have kept going, especially here where I'm at, I had no real cost. I was paying what, $900 a month for it, and yeah, sure, it was eating a lot of fuel. If I really babied it, I could at least get kind of manageable. But a lot had to do with the rear ends being so hot, so low, I guess. Yeah, so low. It's just it is what it was. Every time I think about it, kind of like, because technically I'd have an extra $5,000 in my pocket every month. If I think about it that way, and it kind of puts a little down, I guess, a little bit of depressive state on thinking about it. But it is what it is. Most guys would have been done at that. I guess I took a chance. Really, I just said screw it. I figured I saw what was going on here with this carrier, and I just went with it. And so far, it's been good. Been really good. I just hope it stays and lasts. Just like like I said, things can change in a heartbeat. Look at what's happening with WCF WCF Invader. His broker's like, hey, we want to cheapen up the the run a little bit. And there's only so much that you can take, and that could happen here too. So, cheap freight hauler. How do you like the truck overall? Would you buy again? Yes. Uh, if I ever expand it, which I am planning to expand, that's my goal. My goal is to buy the end of this year or into next year, especially depending on how elections go. I want to try to get my authority again. I want to try to put this on my authority and run here on my authority and have a second truck either running on here or doing something else. That's my goal, and I'm pretty much looking. Um, it's pretty much going to probably be a T680. And I've had so many problems, so much bad luck with Cummins. This is my. I know people are going to be like, it must be you. But this is legitimately, I think, my fourth or fifth Cummins engine that's blown up on me. And none of these engines, well, this one might have been around 1,000,000 miles. It says it from what I looked and did a little bit of rig digging on the truck. It did technically supposedly had 600,000 miles on it, but every other Cummins I had was under 500,000 miles on it and blew up, and or had major emissions problems. Which wasn't bad because like I said, you can get it fixed anywhere, but the engine grenading is kind of a big deal. It's a big deal. Um, and the one pack car truck that I did have, the engine, anything on the engine, like actual mechanical, I had no problems with it. This thing ran like a rape aid. It was great. The only thing I had problems with is the EGR valve, the exhaust back pressure valve shit, and the wiring harness going down to the DPF and SCR and all those knock sensors. I constantly had problems with that, and that was a 2014 pack car. Other than that, though, it ran pretty good. It was, I wasn't going to outpull no Cat C15s or anything, but it ran. It didn't really get good fuel mileage, but it never left me stranded. Well, except for, like I said, the emission shit. Carlos 80. Have you always been OT? Now, are you asking about jobs? I know you were asking about Carlos. You were asking about the CDL thing. I guess if you're asking about jobs, if you're trying to like come right off the bat being local per se, your best bet is look at smaller companies that have like CDL trucks, like small, like let's say like a smaller granite company that has some CDL trucks that delivers granite or something. That's probably your best bet, is to be able to get in a local right away. Some of these LTL companies used to basically take guys right out of school and would put you behind the wheel of a truck, after they did kind of their little bit of their own training on you. But there's so much of an influx of drivers right now, and companies not hiring. There's a lot of companies that have hiring freezes. It's probably going to be a little hard to do something like that. As for OTR, I mean, that all depends on the company you get with. Technically, I don't technically kind of do OTR. I'm more of a regional. I do more of a regional thing right now. But I mean, you know, OTR can have its benefits if it works around your family correctly and you're at the right carrier. And you can make some really good money, especially your first year OTR. If, like I said, it's all about the carrier you get to. And just to tell you off the bat, any recruiter you talk to, they're gonna lie. They're gonna lie through their face. They'll lie. They'll lie to Jesus. Any recruiter you talk to, just about. So, take anything they say with a grain of salt. Best bet is to try to actually talk to drivers off the cuff. So that they don't think they're going to get their little bonus. That's the best way to probably find out. Like, let's just go down to the truck stop and watch them pull in, and look at the companies that are on the side of the truck, and just say, hey, you work for Swift, or I don't know, YRC, any of these companies, and just ask them, like, be like, hey, how do you like working there? It's this and this and this, and just that's probably the best way to actually find out the truth about a company, for the most part. Little Neo, The dinner shows are cool. Yeah, yeah. We did go see the Titanic. We went. Well, I guess if you saw the video, you saw. That was pretty. I guess kind of neat. If I was a little younger and I went there back when I guess the Titanic came out and stuff and all that, I probably would have thought it was a little more neater. But I mean, the kids thought it was pretty neat. Um, you know, I thought I would definitely live, move down there, live in that area. But I can tell you, since the pandemic, prices have like skyrocketed around there. So it's the same thing as everywhere else. Ryan Law, yes, it was with the reefer. Okay, yeah, it was that load. Yep, yep. Now I remember. And you were pissed you didn't have the flatbed because you saw all the pipe coming in. Yep, yep, yep. That's what it was. Yeah, I haven't been. Jeez, I haven't been down into West Virginia in a while. That was when I was doing spot market, and that load paid. I mean, for what it was, it paid pretty decent. Um, I don't know. I kind of miss doing the flatbed stuff. Like I said, it one exercise, and I kind of like the challenge. But it had its days though. When you're tired and sweaty, and you get stuck in this truck, and you're just sitting here, um, trying to wait for a shower, and then they tell you the showers are down or something. It had its days, but it felt. I'm trying to think of the word when I did flatbed. It felt rewarding. Now, see, I'm in a little bit better spot because I work directly for Tyson, pretty much. I don't get treated so bad as a reefer driver, I guess, because I don't know. I guess I have the name behind me. I don't know what it is because I've noticed before when I was just spot market reefer, it was totally different. But but I don't get like the gratitude I used to get with flatbed. Like after if I had a hard load, I just took like an hour and a half, 2 hours to strap up and figure out what to do with. It just, I don't know. It was a different thing. It was a little more rewarding, I guess, to me, at least in that sense. I'm not knocking reefer. I mean, you can make good money doing swinging doors, if you know the right people or getting the right places. But yeah, I kind of miss flatbed. And plus, the truck looked cool with the flatbed. Well, that was like I said before, it got smashed up. But I had the polished tanks. It was a mid roof. It looked pretty badass in my opinion. It wasn't no Peterbilt, 379, but it like I said, I just felt a little bit different about it. Carlo, I meant that I recently obtained a class. Okay, so you already got the Class A. So did you get it through a school? Are they, are they teaming up with anybody, like any carriers? That's probably the easiest way to get your foot in the door. Um, Other than that, like the big problem is they're going to go by experience. They already kind of like want you to have like 6 months experience. Like I said, if you can look around, Google smaller companies, like smaller steel distribution companies and things the lead, the truck lead, the driver lead or whatnot can actually take the time out and train you and stuff. That's your best bet is to try to get into something like that, and maybe you might actually end up local at like $20 an hour or something. Like I haven't had to really look for a job in a long time, so I can't think on the top of my head. When I when I got out of Prime in about 6 months, and I was like, all right, just see ya. I applied to. I did bullshit a little bit. No, I did bullshit a little bit on the application, which is kind of hard to do a little bit in trucking, but for the most part, it did work. Um, I ended up working for a small granite company out in Monroe, New Jersey, and I was paid like $20 an hour and stuff. And that was like my first real job after Prime, after doing the training and stuff. So we're gonna bring guests in here. Oh, we got Will Burner in the house. Let's throw Will Burner in.
Who are you kidding? Who are
Yeah,
you
we got
kidding?
Will Burner.
You did a
How's it
little bit
going?
of you did a little bit of BSing. Come on, in this business, you do a lot of BSing.
Well, I didn't do any more BSing than a recruiter, I guess.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. I'm actually I'm just calling in because I'm really loving your setup there you've got with with the studio feel you've got going on in the truck?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I was trying to go for, I guess, for the
You
most
got
part.
it. You nailed it.
Yeah, but
It
like I said,
looks
if I had the
real
laptop,
good.
if I had the laptop, I'd be trying to bring up, I don't know, some kind of decent talk to talk about. But I'm just going
Well,
at it right now because I
think
said
of
I'm
something.
gonna be here. I'm gonna probably be here to 2 a.m. Technically, that's my appointment time. I
Yeah,
highly doubt. I highly doubt they're gonna get me in any sooner. But I guess we'll see. So
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? I just parked. I've been listening to you while I got parked. I've been listening to you eat my dinner. I just did a walk around the truck stop, but I couldn't stand the smell of pee. You know, so it was like it was
I'm
one of
guessing
the.
you're down. I'm guessing you're down in this neck of the woods in the lower 48.
No, dude, I'm in Canada. I'm back up in
Oh,
Canada right now.
oh,
I'm
it's like that up there too, huh?
funny enough, I ran like a maniac today. I started out in Brooklyn, Iowa, and I'm just on the other side of Toronto. I did 814 miles. Ran like an idiot, and I'm like 40 minutes from my house. I couldn't make it. 40
PC
minutes,
that
40 minutes
PC
from the
that
door, and I
bitch.
couldn't make it.
PC that bitch.
Yeah, I can
Be
stand
like,
on the roof. I can stand on the roof and see the house for crying out loud if I really wanted to.
I'd be like, no restrooms were available at the truck stop. Plumbing issues.
You know what? If I thought I could do it and get away with it, I actually thought about it because there's two more truck stops between here and my place. Right? If this was the last one, Jackknife, I could have done it and got away with it. Right? I could have gone for the safe haven clause and just said, well, the truck stop was full, there was nowhere to park, and I had to go home, right? Or I just went to the.
So,
But there's two more truck stops between here and the house, and it was like I couldn't do it and get away with it.
so in your opinion, that's probably like a small little petty thing, right? Like, yeah, let's say if you're within distance of, let's say your governed license. How about that? All right.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you think that of anything, OIDA could at least try to like lobby some small little law like that to at least give you an hour. You're within an hour of your home or something, just to get the hell something, just so you have a
yes,
life. Yeah.
yes.
When out
You
of
would think
anything
that
else,
you would
you know,
think that they would do that, or they'd look at something like that, just for the reason that for me to have made it home tonight, I would have had a nice meal. I could have had a shower. I would have been well rested.
well
Right,
rested. Yeah.
I'd have been sleeping in my own bed. I'd have been more comfortable, and I'd have been probably more productive tomorrow. Not saying I'm not going to be productive tomorrow. I will, but you know, but you're right. If I could have made it home, absolutely, 100%. I agree with that, and I think there's no reason why they couldn't have, or they shouldn't at least look at something like that.
But they'll never bring it up. Doesn't make them any money.
Exactly. There's no money in it for them, right? They don't care. They don't care whether I'm parked 10 minutes from the house, 40 minutes from the house. If there's not a dollar in it for them, if the OOIDA is not getting dollars from it, they don't care. Or in Canada here, it's the OTA. Same thing. If they don't have their hand in it and there's no profit in it, they don't care about it.
Let me look up something real quick. There was a company I heard that I guess they opened up a truck parking spot in San Antonio, Riggy's, I think is that called Riggy's, and I was gonna try to maybe get a hold of them and see about what they're all about, because I think that's probably our best bet for truck parking. It's probably
Yeah,
like a we might as well just give up on the government doing anything. It's probably
yeah,
gonna have to be a privatized thing, and I mean, I'm fine with paying something as long as I get value out of it.
agreed,
Um,
agreed. Uh,
typical.
my wife and I, Darlene, we actually looked at last year along the 401. Like, I don't know how many of you guys have ever been into Canada, but the 401 highway is like the second busiest highway in North America, right? It runs from Detroit all the way to like
Um,
Quebec, the province of
Quebec,
Quebec.
yeah.
Okay, and it's super busy and everything, but the availability for truck parking is very, very low. But there are certain areas that the highway runs through where it's a lot of country. So Dara and I investigated buying, off of an exit, buying 30 acres, buying 20, whatever was for sale. There was a bunch of them for sale. 20 acres, One was 20 acres, one was 30 acres, one was 55 acres. That was totally unaffordable. But we looked at buying something, and then we were thinking, okay, how about we do something? We don't provide a service. We don't provide like a truck stop or a meal, but we do provide a safe place with washrooms, you know, like basic truck parking. You know, just the bare minimum, but at least it's somewhere that way guys aren't parking on ramps. You know, you can get off the highway, you can get into a place, and you know, we could probably put somewhere of upwards of 200 to 250 trucks into the one we were looking at. And believe it or not, it wasn't the fact of buying the land that was expensive. That was expensive. Do you want to know what was the killer? It was
The permitting.
the insurance, the having to pave it if you wanted it paved, to pave it, insure it, and then put a fence around it. And then if you, depending on the type of insurance, you might actually have to pay a security company to come in and just, you know, make a couple laps around every couple of hours. It was totally unreasonable. Like it just for somebody like for us, it doesn't matter, you know, whatever. We were looking at $7 million just to pave it. Just to pave it.
Yeah, I was looking at a few options out here off 81. And what would probably kill me would be like DEP, not necessarily EPA, but the DEP, the Department of Environmental Protections. That's
we didn't
really
get that far. Jackknife,
yeah.
We didn't get that far. Okay, we got to this. Okay, can we afford the 60 acres or the 55 acres? Yes. Could we afford this? Yes. Can we afford this? Yeah. Okay. But then like I said, we started getting into the insurance alone, and the liability you got to carry is ridiculous, right? Because if you're parked beside me and I pull out and take the nose off your truck, yeah, the insurance companies are going to battle, but then somebody somewhere down the line is going to come after me because I own the property.
Yeah, they're going to say you didn't have the spaces big enough or something.
Exactly, whatever.
Well,
right?
I was thinking of something kind of self-efficient, a little bit more like you know, cameras, AI, a little bit, you know, be able to like read numbers on the side of the trucks and things like that. And for the most part, for food, I was just going to have, you know, like a vending company come in and actually have those, you know, where they actually have real food in those little vending machines.
Yeah.
You know, just something like that. And it's kind of a little bit of self-efficient just to keep costs low. You can't to have employees come out and constantly, you know, do things, you know, you're talking about, you know, what, at least at minimum 30,000-40,000 a year. And then you got workers' comp and all that other crap you got to keep track of.
Yeah.
You know, it just, next thing you know, you're having to ask for $20-$30 and, you know, for truck parking.
Yeah.
You know,
you've got guys that'll come in, they'll drop a trailer, then they'll drop another trailer. Then you've got companies that'll start coming in and doing drop switches and, you know, all that kind of shit. But we were gonna approach a couple of families that we know that have like professional lunch wagon trucks, and we would have rented you a spot within the thing, say from 7 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, right? That way you'd be there to serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner right off the side of your truck, right? What truck driver doesn't love a real good lunch wagon, right? We love them, and we were looking at setting up maybe 2 or 3 of those, but nah. No.
Now, either my audio has gone out for you because you sound like you're like 300 feet away. So,
is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
You know what it was? My phone just slipped down the bottom of my hand, and the palm of my hand was covering the speaker. Sorry.
All right.
Brother.
Yeah, that's what it was. All right. Let me quick just get to some of these comments because they're pouring in now. Little Neo Gamer. I'm done with the owner operator route. My truck is paid off and parked it. And now driving dump trucks for a lot of work in New Jersey. Yeah, that Jersey dump trucks. I know a few guys have done it. That's been an up and down thing. A lot of cutthroat crap going on with that. Let's see here. Carlos, I obtained Class A CDL first try. Just wanted to know the best advice for beginners who want to make more money without OTR. Really the big name of the game in this, Carlos, is experience, because the bigger carriers can afford to take chances on you because they have their own insurance. They self-insure themselves, and a lot of these little places you go through Progressive and whatnot, and they have requirements of 2 years experience and things like that. That's really the big thing. That's almost what's basically killed the guy. It's what's killed off the guy that just goes and gets a CDL first try at the DMV. He comes out and guess what? He has no experience. There's nobody that'll put him on his insurance, and he's pretty much stuck having to go to like a Swift or a Prime or something like that anyway.
Yeah.
Even though he might have been running dump trucks and stuff on the farm for years, he's pretty much screwed unless you're going to get your own authority and try to go that route. But that's going to cost a pretty penny too, because like I said, you're going to have to insure yourself. So
I advise everybody that if you've just got your license, you're a young guy, you've got your license. Obviously, you're not going to run OTR. You don't have the wheel time, but you want to get your chops. You know what? The fastest and the best way to build a real-time experience is get on with a cartage company running LTL through the cities.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I said a little bit earlier. The problem though is a lot of LTL carriers they're laying people off right now. Is really what they're doing.
You're right. So, that is the issue. But if you can find one that's still going strong, if you take a guy that runs LTL for 2 years through a couple of the cities, through the cities, that 2 years worth of running LTL through the cities is probably equivalent to about 6 or 7 years of running OTR.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to learn your chops. You're going to learn, you're going to know your equipment. You can run 2 years of LTL and not kill yourself, damage the truck, or kill somebody else. You know what? I'd put you in a truck. I'd take a chance on you if you could show me that. Just getting that spot is just the hard part, right?
Yeah, if you can run through like New York and all that, and North Jersey and stuff,
Yeah, that's
the way to do it.
That's where I cut mine. I cut my teeth running Toronto, Chicago, Atlanta, and New York City back in the day. Running LTL, we used to run refrigerated reefer loads through New York City. It'd be 5 drops: Queens, Harlem, Bronx, Manhattan, and Long Island. That was, and you had to get in and get out, right? Get in.
Yep. You had to be going over to GW at 4:00 in the morning. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Because there's no reload coming out, so you're going in, you're getting it all done, and you got to get the hell out of there, right? So
yeah,
I did that for years. Same thing with Chicago, Toronto, Montreal. Montreal's a real tough city to run LTL. Never mind the language barrier. It's just a really hard city to run LTL through.
Well, it's old city. It's a very old city.
It is.
Anything that's old, it's a pain in the ass.
Well, the thing about New York City, Montreal, Toronto's an excruciatingly really old city. Chicago, a lot of the cities in Pennsylvania, right? Wilkes-Barre, Williamsport, all of those places.
Philadelphia,
Philly especially. I'm in Philly all the time. A lot of those cities were built, like the streets and especially in the downtown areas, or in a lot of.
There's cobblestone. There's cobblestone underneath the blacktop. Yeah.
Well, exactly. But those cities and those streets were built when we were pulling 40-footers and 48-footers. We weren't even pulling 53s, right?
Those train trestles are all 12-foot tall or 10-foot tall. Yep.
Exactly. And now here we are pulling 53-foot trailers around, and the big wooden lamp post or electrical post is sitting right on the corner, right on the corner. In some cases out on the street. They're not even on the corner. They're on the street. And and nowadays, guys just lose their shit when they see that, because, you got to try to swing a 53-foot trailer around.
Well, they start freaking. You go down the wrong street. You start freaking out instead of just stopping.
Yeah.
Tell everyone to go F off and just stop. Pull out Google Maps and satellite view and see where you're actually at and where you're going. And they just freak out and keep going. Next thing you know, you're down one of these little one-way streets where, has a 90-degree turn at it, and there's poles on the thing and people's cars and stuff, and you're trying to get through it, and then you're so freaked out because people are honking at you. The best thing you do is when you get in a city like that, first, don't get yourself in that situation. Pull out. Nice thing about Google, you can pull out Street View and literally look at the bridge you're going to come up on when you go down the road and see exactly what's going on, or look at the corner or something like that. Especially when you're in cities like that.
I still do it. Jackknife, I still do it. Even today, I still do it. You know,
Have you ever been in Newark? There, you know how that train trestle goes right down the
oh,
side of Newark, and on the other side, I forget. There's that little. There's like 2 or 3 frozen warehouses on the one side. I forget what street it is on.
bro, I'm
But
down in
there's
the
really
port.
only one. There's only one way to get in there, and if you take any other way, you're gonna, have a convertible on your trailer.
Right.
Oh,
I'm down in the port usually this week and last week I haven't because I've been running out west. I've been back on flatbed for a while. But when I'm on the van side, I'm down in the port of Newark probably twice a
yeah.
week.
So you know what I'm talking about.
So
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about.
That train trestle that cuts Newark in
Yeah.
half. It's such a pain in the ass. Yeah.
You make a left instead of a right, you're having a bad day.
Yep,
Bad
and the
day.
streets are all one way, so you gotta like make it, like go and make a complete circle to get down on the one bridge, one trestle you got to get under and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
I was on the
So
I was on the phone with a friend of mine. Well, he's a newer driver. He's a new guy with our company, and he was trying to get down into the port. He's coming off of 78 and he missed it. And he had to literally had to go almost 21 miles out of route so he could get himself turned around to get back into the port because
yeah, because he was so scared to get off anywhere.
It was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He's going, can I get off here? I'm like, dude, you can get off there. I don't think I can get off here. I don't think I can get off here. And he'd go right by it. And I'm like, dude, like you're gonna be in Baltimore shortly. You want to hurry this up? Like
the Parkway. I'll get off on the Parkway. I'm gonna get off the yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you.
I remember those younger days when I used to do that. I get so worried about people and people honk. Now
Don't care.
I don't care. Like,
I
it's
don't
not
care.
worth it.
No.
I don't want to be on bonehead truckers. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. It's been a while for me since I've pulled a real big one. I think last year. I think last year I was in Williamsport and I took a turn the wrong way. I got myself hodged, and I actually had to flag a cop to stop traffic for me, so I could get out. I literally had to. There was only one way out. I had to back out and kind of jackknife myself to get out of it. And I had no
Virginia.
choice. I had to flag a cop to do it. I had to flag a state trooper to do it. So I was lucky.
Williamsport, what? PA?
Yeah.
Williamsport, PA. You got stuck?
Yeah.
Wow. What, were you in a little city there? Actually,
I'm not proud to admit this. All right.
But you get in the middle of that little town, the little city off the river there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to the part where there's a section there where it divides, right? You can go left or you can go right, and then it reconnects down at the others. Well, I wasn't.
Yeah, you can either go the easy way.
I guess
you can either go the easy way or over the mountain. Yeah.
Right. I brain farted. It had been a while since I'd been down there. I brain farted and I went to the right, and I'm going, oh shit, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. So I went to pull off to the right, and then that was kind of like almost like an exit off to the right, and I ended up making a hard right into. It was almost like a driveway, but it wasn't a driveway. And then for me to get out, I had no choice but to back out
all the way. Yeah.
And like I said, there was no way I could do it without. I had to get a cop to stop traffic, and I was like, and of course I'm doing this. I'm like, I'm looking around. I'm like, dodging, and it's like, whatever.
I walked up, saw Canada on the sides, like, oh, here we go.
Well,
Boonja.
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I do get a free pass once in a while, right? As soon as they see the Ontario
Just start speaking French.
As soon as they see the Ontario license plate on the front of it, they go, fucking Canadian. Pardon my mouth. Excuse my mouth, but that's literally what they do. Or right. You're right. Start speaking French to them, and they're like, okay, yeah, just go. Whatever. Just get out of here. Go on. Get out. Go.
And they get some comments piling up. Let's see. Sterling. The truck I sold lost a one box and a turbo, warped the head, $42K. Yeah, that was a nice truck there, Sterling, especially when you turned it into a mid-roof. Like, man, that would have looked really nice with a flatbed behind it. Let's see. Organized Chaos Trucker. There was a spot on Warminster open up the end, like 84 acres.
Yeah, but what would you have paid for it? Yeah,
that's the problem, though. that and like I said, you have the initial cost of land, and then let's say you do buy the land, and you get all these they can at least the realtor or the broker will at least go through you with what it's zoned for and everything, and then next thing you know, you get to an actual meeting, and the people don't want it, or there's a problem. So now you just bought this $300,000 piece of land or $500,000 piece of land, and you can't do shit with it,
I can plant corn. That's about it.
Woo.
Yeah. Exactly.
At least get subsidized and plant some Monsanto corn and freaking
Yeah.
and have some seed float over to my land and have them take it for free.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Bill of the Woods. Bull of the Woods is in the house. How's it
TJ,
going?
what's up? Oh.
Oh, here we go. We got organized chaos in here.
Let me correct my talk to text Fubar.
Oh.
All right.
West Memphis, I saw online somewhere. West Memphis just opened up a state-funded 84-acre parking lot for trucks. Don't know where it's at, but I'm guessing it's all 40.
Bring your own
but it's
gun.
West
Bring your own
Memphis,
gun and
though.
bulletproof
Come on.
vest.
It's West Memphis.
Yeah, exactly. Bring your own gun and bulletproof vest. Give me
I stayed
Well,
at the
I'm pretty
I stayed at the Loves
sure-
once in West Memphis. I don't think I'll ever do it again. Like,
I
I mean,
stay at the Pilot all the time. I ain't got no issues. I stay at.
You're nuts.
I pulled in at 11 o'clock at night and parked because I had my reserve spot. Never had an issue.
You're crazy. I don't even like
I've had the knocks. I had the first time I was there. I had knocks on my door.
Yeah.
And all that
I've
crap.
never had issues, so I don't know what anybody talks about.
And
But
it
I'm
was
pretty
probably
sure it's out towards Little Rock. So
It was one of the most
said West Memphis, but
it was one of the most disgusting newer Loves I've ever been in too.
Yeah, that Love's kind of
you need chaos. You need to up your sexy game. That's why they're fucking knocking on your door.
Now when I was there,
I've never had anybody knock on my door.
I did go to the casino when I was there. That was fun. And I did.
That's where I'm pretty sure the parking is out towards the casino.
It's right. It's a little bit down. Probably that's probably where they did it. But I mean, they got rid of the parking at the casino. There used to be parking over there. They got rid of it. But I went to the casino. I took an Uber, got a haircut. I forget the name of the barber. I wish I knew it because I would love to give them some work. Like, it was literally legit old fashioned barber. They got out the little handheld massager and put it on your back and everything. It was I forget the name of it. No, this ain't Sport Cuts. This was legit old school barber, a bunch of good old Southern white boy trash talking and stuff.
I can tell you a spot you can park. I don't know how many can get in there, but if you go out on Hino Boulevard, it's the middle of farmland where a warehouse is. There's a road. It's probably 2 or 3 miles long, and nobody is out there ever. And I all the time see trucks when I'm running late. They'll pull over and park on these roads that lead up to the warehouse. Never get messed with. You ain't got nothing but coyotes to worry about. It's over by the rail yard.
See, I don't want to be on the side of the road.
I
hate sleeping on the side of the road anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like
it's not a main road. It's not a main road. It might as well be a dirt road. It's paved. It's paved. You can get turned around if you need to, but it's out there. It's quiet. There's a couple light posts. But if you need a spot in a hurry, Hino Boulevard, and you're in West Memphis, you got to get parked. Literally, you just pull in, turn around. You don't got to worry about a parking spot.
I tell you
just a little side road.
I tell you what. I will take a red line and a violation on my e-log before I'll stop and park in West Memphis. I will drive.
Well, it's not West Memphis though. It's out past West Memphis, on down 40.
Yeah,
it's over by the Hino plant.
Yeah, it's
You're
a little
literally
bit
in the middle of a farm field. This road cuts through a farm.
Yeah, but they're gonna still drive. I don't know. It depends how they're gonna have security. They're gonna still drive out there and do stupid shit.
There isn't. My company drivers, when they're running late, because I run parts in Hino, that's where they park. They never get bugged. Like it's literally it's just a yard dog running back and forth between the Hino plant and the warehouse. There's nobody out there. It's literally just basically a dead end road that you can turn around in the parking lot of the warehouse. There's nothing around. You're literally in the middle of a field where they cut a road.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably never will get down there. At least not working here.
Okay, I tell you what. If you watch any of my recent videos where I'm sitting there saying I'm leaving Hino, I'm literally recording the road, and I point out the little side road that cuts off. There ain't nothing around there because it's a road cutting through a farm field where a farmer, I guess, sold some land. It's
Right
been
on.
there a while. But hey,
Are there bathrooms?
it's a road in the middle of a field.
Well, I don't want to be there. Nothing
think
like
I
getting
don't
up at
either,
3 o'clock
but,
in
like,
the morning and that steak and that giant steak dinner you just ate hits you at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you're right there in a farm field. You can just add to the compost. There's
That's when
nobody
that's
around.
while you're there, that's when Tennessee state trooper comes around the corner of this pile.
You're in Arkansas. You're in Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Even better.
Yeah.
But hey,
Oh shit! I gotta take a phone call, boys. I'll be
yeah, I
watching the
just
chat.
wanted to fix that stupid talk to text.
Later.
Bye.
All right. So, yeah, that I did read about that giant parking lot was built out there in West Memphis. I think that was state funded, but the problem is you ain't gonna get any northern states do that. Like, you think you're gonna have Jersey do that? You think you're gonna have Pennsylvania do that? To be honest, I'm actually surprised they did. They must have got funding from somewhere, because to be honest, I think a lot of these states are basically waiting for autonomous trucks to kick in, and then they won't have to worry about, building these rest areas and these parking lots and everything. They just won't have to. That's the way I feel about that. I think that's going to be something that's going to hurt us fighting for any of that too. We're old news, I guess you can say. So I don't know. We'll see on how that goes here in the next couple of years with autonomy and whether or not it's going to really take our jobs and stuff like that. There's still going to have to be people that are going to fill. I mean, you might get away without us driving them here in 20 years, but like I said, they're not going to fill themselves. They're not going to be able to check their own tires. It's just, I don't know. I'm going off the rails over here about that truck parking thing, but it's just, like I said, it's going to be really hard to get anybody behind truck parking. I think, like I said, because of autonomous trucks and everything. But then again, I also would like to, I even talked about this. I would like to try to get something together. I don't know, maybe some pushback from some of the larger YouTube truckers, the well-known ones like maybe Asia Mai or something. Either try to reform OOIDA, which I think they've already tried. Either turn it into something that was supposed to be in the first place, or either start a new I don't know, a new group or something. I would love to maybe get behind something like that. It costs money. You're talking about, you need like legit funding, legit dues, and you need to actually get behind somebody and actually find a real lobbying group, like a legit lobbying group that's been around Washington and done all this bullshit. And that's the only way you're going to really improve anything in trucking. The same thing, like I was telling Wheel Burner with like the ELD rule. Like, why can't we have like an hour or two, especially if we're, if we can prove that we're within like an hour or two of our home, especially on like a Friday night or a weekend, and we could take our 34-hour break at home, there should be a provision in there to be able to get the freak home. At least within an hour or two. Why can't we have like why can't we just have like it would be easy too. They could just extend it to the 16-hour rule. Like, let's say, I don't know, we'll call it like the homestead rule or something. Just something where you could extend that time, just to give a driver the ability to actually get home and spend a whole weekend home with their family and well rested and everything. Like, I don't see why nobody even thought of that. I don't know why OIDA didn't like even think about that. We already know you're not going to be able to fight them, with the normal regulations, the stupid things they were fighting with ELDs when it came out. If anything, we should just try to add provisions that could help us. I think we'd have a better shot at doing that, because I don't know if we'll ever be able to change the actual limit or times of the ELD mandate. I would love to see something close, like more closely resemble Canada's, ELD. I don't know why they just don't, just up it to that, at least to their hours of service rules. It would probably make it a lot easier on everything, but it is what it is. Let's see, Sterling. Without the beard, Will Burner looks like the only guy I would trust in West Memphis. Yeah. Oh man. Last time I stayed there, I was stuck over in West Memphis for a 34-hour, and at that Love's, and I probably got at least six knocks on my door. Sometimes they weren't women. Let's put it that way. So, two of them I know are probably trying to sell me illicit items or possible substances, and the other two that weren't women, yeah, they were they liked they were a different pick, if you like ladies of the night, I guess you could say. Will Burner Express, my God, I got you fooled, Sterling. Let's see. Yay, Nevada Trucking and Trails is in the house. What's going on? Nothing, Nevada. We're just sitting here shooting the shit, waiting until my appointment time is up, basically. So they might let me in early, they said, but most likely, since it's americold, got a nice truck going by. Since it's americold, I'll probably be here until 2 a.m. That's when my appointment technically is. So I'm just taking it easy. I got tons of sleep already. I ended up sleeping at like 9 o'clock this morning because, like I said, I got stuck last night at where was I at? McLean up there in New York for donations that I ended up donating back in Pottsville anyway. So I could have been home, in my bed early in the morning with my old lady and stuff. But so, I'm just trying to do like a half decent professional podcast here. Like I said, I don't really have much to talk about. If I had the laptop, I could pull up some articles and stuff. But I'm pretty much running this off the internet, off my damn what do you want to call it? My smart TV. So, and I probably do a lot better if I had a keyboard. But the keyboard I did bring, it was an older wireless keyboard. For some reason, it doesn't want to connect to the TV. So, oh, you know what? Speaking of that, right here, the truck parking. See, Arkansas adds 84 truck parking spots on I-40. Also, just perhaps, police substation eyed for West Memphis location. So they want to also put a police substation in with this parking. So it just goes to show you how much criminal enterprises are dealing. I highly doubt it's to protect the truckers. It's probably, I don't know. They probably are thinking the truck drivers are going to bring more crime. Amidst constant roar of Interstate 40 traffic, Arkansas state leaders celebrated opening long-awaited commercial truck parking along parking lot in West Memphis, adding nearly 84 much-needed spaces. Let's cut the ribbon and let the trucks start rolling in. Lori Torndor, director of Arkansas's Department of Transportation, recently told Arkansas Trucking Association executives. State Senator, I'm going to screw his name up. I think it's Randall Murdoch. I guess Murdoch, yeah. State Highway Commissioner Chairman Alex Farmer and other gathered gathered underneath a white tent. Murdoch, who worked in the past for ARDOT, thanked everyone for their contributions to the project opening. What makes dreams come true in teamwork, and this is what you see as a result today. So yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know about dreams come true, but I guess technically for that area there was truck parking needed, but I don't know. It's just funny how they're making it out to be for West Memphis. Of course, ATA president Shannon Newton, she weighed in on it. She was granted the honor of commanding scissors at the event. Told everyone the ceremony marked a decade. Yeah, it marked a decade of work from Arkansas trucking industry. She's pretty cute, a little bit. Big smile, but like a little southern blonde belle. Anyway, yada yada yada. Here you go. It took $6 million to transform it. So apparently it was. They said pointing to the concrete facility that took $6 million to transform it from a tourist information center rebuilt elsewhere. She said that she wants people to realize this is in their break room. I don't know. I guess just to tell you how much, I guess, break room talk she's talking about. For the truck driver who are the backbone of the economy, enduring long hours and challenging conditions, ensure timely delivery of goods. So I guess this project cost $6 million for this parking lot, this 84 spot parking lot. There are 3.5 million truck drivers in the United States, and only 313,000 official parking spaces. So there you go, 3.5 million truckers and only 313 official parking spaces. That's from the Arkansas Trucking Association, AR Good Roads. So that just shows you how screwed up our parking situation really is. I'll tell you that. I wish I'd stop bourbon. Jeez. So the entire 84 parking spaces are situated on a 7-acre concrete pad. So it's 7 acres of concrete. No wonder that costs some freaking money. The highest truck volumes in Arkansas are along I-40, I-30, and I-55 freight corridor. Oh. So at least Arkansas seems like they're trying to do something. I mean, in my opinion, every state, like if you go down the turnpike in Ohio, I think every state should have some kind of truck parking like Ohio does for the rest areas. Ohio has phenomenal rest areas for trucks and for people, just period. I think everybody should model those rest areas. Some of the newer rest areas in Pennsylvania are pretty decent. Like the Allentown one, and I guess they built a newer one off of 76. Where is that? Oh, I forgot. But they don't have showers. The parking is mediocre at best. But I mean, I guess they're trying. But those are still turnpikes. They should have at least one rest area like that on 80 in the middle of 80 in Pennsylvania somewhere. Just something with 100 or 120 parking spots and a shower and something and some food. Just one. Texas should definitely start doing something like that too. But like I said, they're not really going to invest in any of this if they think autonomous trucks are coming. Why bother doing it if they think they're going to save? They're still going to probably be able to tax all this stuff. They're going to have taxes. These autonomous vehicles, I don't know. They might think they're not going to tear up the road as much, which in my opinion, they're going to be heavier. So yeah, they probably will. I don't know. It's just a crapshoot. Like, it's a shame that we can't get anything going for ourselves. Like I said, the lobbying that we hire through OIDA and stuff is mediocre at best. And even then, when I get the laptop out, I'm going to read you somebody, just in the comments, just for the hell of it. Go Google OIDA's lobbying group and see who their lobbying group is. And see, because since OIDA is technically not for profit or whatnot, all their stuff's on the books. You can see how much money they get from truck drivers and how much their profits are and what they got going out. And there's a little bit of discrepancy in that, in my opinion. And I know, oh, God forbid, if somebody from OIDA ever watched me, they'd probably be able to tear me a new one. But still, you can see it there, though. You can actually see it. All that stuff's public information. And it's a shame, it, that it's turned into what it is. There's too many people putting their hands in the cookie jar in OIDA, and they lost track of what they were really there to do. Just like most of the unions and everything else, unfortunately. And it sucks, and we're the ones that are stuck with it. So, let me see here. Well, Tesla. Apparently, everybody's going to go to Tesla charging network. GM's vehicles will gain access to Tesla's charging network. I mean, that's whatever. That's nothing. Oh, I guess maybe that has something to do with trucking. So probably what's going to happen is everything's going to go over to Tesla chargers. Which, I mean, hey, they have the better product, so they should be able to do that. Now, what I'm a little worried about, at least concerning that, is Tesla stealing, people's stuff. Tesla hasn't been known for, being very forward with their software and stuff and changing people's parameters and things on their vehicles. I mean, I guess they probably won't do it with other people's vehicles or whatnot. Oh, hey, just to let you know, guys, the average fuel cost in the United States as of June 5th is $3.79, and apparently it's falling. It just fell for the average price fell 5.8 cents. So I guess that's good news. Fuel's falling. That's always good. The problem though is I think the rates are falling faster, and if they would just stay at a decent, manageable course, you might actually make some really good money since fuel rates are falling. But it doesn't look like that's what's happening here. Any other good topics here? Well, fleets are focused on driver performance to raise fuel economy. Well, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, there ain't really no really big stories going on right now in the trucking community. Oh, yes, there is actually. So how about this? California here. We all know how California is trying to phase out us truck drivers and diesel trucks and everything like this. 19 states sue EPA and California over heavy truck phase out. Iowa, grand old state of Iowa, is leading the charge in the lawsuit against the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for backing California's future ban on all heavy diesel vehicles. So, well, that's good. At least there's some actual pushback against this. You don't see OIDA, you would think this article should have OIDA sitting in this, wouldn't you? A little bit. Maybe they should be helping out, helping to lead the charge here with Iowa. That's too much work. I'm gonna get so much shit by somebody for calling out OIDA. I already know it. Somebody's gonna, especially if I'm gonna start doing podcasts and getting a little more legitimate here. I'm gonna be railroaded into the ground. Let's see. It's a 51-page legal action against the EPA. Unfortunately, it's being filed in the. I thought that was the 5th district, but no. It says June 5th. It was filed for the U.S. Court of Appeals at the District of Columbia. So it was filed at the District of the Court of Appeals in the District of Columbia. So it's being filed in Washington D.C. with the District of Columbia Court. I mean, I highly doubt this is going to go anywhere because, of course, the court's going to, side in the EPA in California's favor because it's freaking going to be held in Washington D.C. Whatever. So, well, at least we have somebody on our sides. At least some of these states. Let's see here. Here, I'm going to name some of the states here. We have Alabama. We have Arkansas, Georgia, Kansas, Kentucky, Indiana, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Ohio, South Carolina, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming, along with Iowa going at this. So at least there's some states that'll actually stick behind us. I mean, probably in some of these states like Iowa and stuff, trucking, you got farming and trucking. That's a big, big part of their economy. So, I guess that's somewhat good news in trucking, that at least somebody's actually fighting for us. Oh, let's see here. Supply chain freight legislation on Congress's summer agenda. So here we go. We'll click on this. We'll see what the supply chain bill is. Hopefully, it's to add you know, some help here with the double brokering and stuff, but it probably isn't. It's truck parking and a rail safety bill. So this is apparently their summer agenda for Congress. Um, the Truck Parking and Safety Improvement Act was among the bills that gained approval during Congression before the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee on May 23rd. The panel also advised a policy update related to freight and commercial corridors. Okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I don't need to be able to. Nobody cares about who these people are. As soon as I talk about Mike Boost, Republican of Illinois, you're not going to freaking know. So the nitty gritty. Let's see if this is actually going to go anywhere. And what it's exactly about. The Biden administration has multiple benefits associated with expanding parking access for truckers. Yeah. Well, what are you actually going to do? Here's some Democrat senators saying that paying for truck parking is pretty much a waste of time because new technologies are phasing out. Most new technologies are most likely going to phase out truck drivers in the future, and these funds could be easily spent elsewhere for. Let me click down here. For benefiting the homeless and other needy other organizations that need the funding to help the needy. So yeah, we all know how this is going. Then so they really don't talk about exactly the nitty gritty of what the bill is going to do. Of course, it's just the bipartisan rail. What the heck is it here? Rail and Safety Act. So this is the stuff that is ridiculous. When we get bills here that are named, have these fancy names, and you think they would actually help us out. Like this, like I said, this bill here is man, like I said, I'm trying to work with like a 10-year-old computer here when you're trying to scroll here. Yeah, when you're trying to the bill, the Truck Parking and Safety Improvement Act. When you read that, you think it's actually gonna, be a bunch of funding for truck parking, and none of that's actually here. It's a bunch of bullshit. And in fact, most of it's starting to talk about the rail. They're talking about, it might be. They're talking about how it might be safer to move flammable materials on rail than it would be through the pipelines, which is totally the opposite. And they're bringing up East Palestine. So, like I said, that's the kind of crap we deal with. Let's see, Nevada. Did you see the news reports? A family in Las Vegas said, "Oh yeah, I saw that." It said aliens crash landed in their backyard, and the cops have it on body cam. Crashing, then getting the 911 call. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know. From what I also heard is apparently we already have alien technology and all that other stuff. I mean, I don't know. I try to focus on news that might actually affect me. I mean, yeah, that can affect me, but when they're anal probing me, that's when I'll worry about it. Because the government's already hiding tons of other stuff from us. So I don't want to try to turn this into a conspiracy show. Maybe another night. I already had. I guess the last time I did a live, I kind of got a little bit too much into politics, and even now, technically, I'm getting into politics. But I mean, I'm trying to no, everybody's welcome here. No matter what side of the political field you're on or anything. For the most part, I mean, start calling me names and stuff. That's one thing. Or start putting down this country and stuff. That's another thing too. But for the most part, I'm trying to stay a little bit out of the political trenches. I'm trying to grow this channel into something. I mean, I'm not trying to. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it. Like I said, I would like to actually maybe do some actual good for the trucking community. Maybe like I'd really love to try to team up with Alex or something. Not in like a coattails riding kind of thing, but maybe actually see if we can accomplish something. Because him, just trucking. They're like the big names in trucking. I mean, you got James too. Everybody knows James, but there's some controversial things going on with that. And he knows it. But he can do good once in a while. It's just, I don't know. I kind of want to be a little bit part of something bigger, if you want to call it that. I know it's kind of like a long shot. Just like what Wheelburner was saying with truck parking, I would love to, get something going there with private truck parking like that. The Riggies down there in Texas. I looked up their website. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up here. Like I would love to get something going like that around the country. Especially like I had an idea of just having to go through Easy Pass. That would be good too. Just something fairly cheap and easy to do. For the everyday company driver or even owner operator. Let's see if I can spell it right. I know it's spelled differently than it sounds. Riggy. Let's see if it pulls up. Oh, you know what? I could probably add truck parking on it too. Like I said, I'm typing with a mouse, so this is taking a lot longer than I wanted. There we go. All right, so clean, secure. Riggy's provides clean, secure, and reservable truck parking and trailer parking with useful amenities. So this pretty much its company. I don't know how many actual places they've already have built, but so far, at least from what I've read about them a little bit, it seems like like a legitimate, decent business model. It says we welcome from a family of truckers, and we understand the difficulties you face every day driving and parking your rig. Here, we're here to provide you the peace of mind you've been looking for. So, it looks like what they're doing is they're trying to standardize their truck parking spaces. So I guess if they don't get a piece of property that's not within their diameters, they probably won't open. These are numbered reserved parking spots. Drivers have dedicated 12-foot wide opposing angled spots with extra room for maneuvering. No more unassigned small parking spaces. So these are all truck parking spaces. Why can't I move the shoot? Can I minimize? Well, not minimize this. All right. Well, apparently I can't scroll over. So I was going to read the dimensions of what they got these parking spots set up for. But so far it looks like in between the spots you're going to have. Geez, that's right. You're going to have like 70 feet. You're going to have 70 feet in between the parking spots to pull out and back into and stuff. So I mean, these at least they actually look like they took some time, and these aren't just going to be some haphazardly slapped together things. Yeah, let me get the comments. There's some comments popping up here. Sterling, truck drivers are homeless and needy. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should try to work on that. I'm sure the Democrats love that sort of thing. Let's see, Nevada trucking and trails. Well, don't let my stories of aliens prevent that. Now, I mean, I looked into it a little bit today. I mean, does anybody actually have the video? Like, I mean, I saw some like grainy clips and stuff, but did anybody have any actual video of anything? I don't know. That's what I would like to see. And then you would think if it got to that point, eventually the government would just come out and say it. But I would think, though, if we think alien technology is so great and advanced as what we think it is, we're not exactly that advanced, you know. And like even the weapons, like, you know, we're still fighting the way we used. You know, it's still kind of guided missiles, ammunition, things like that. When I start seeing like giant laser cannons or vehicles float, you know, from anti-gravity manner and stuff like that, that's when I'll start being like, well, you know, we probably have some alien technology then. But until then, I don't know. It is what it is. I try not to get into that. Every time I think of aliens, I think of either Aliens the movie or Independence Day. I don't ever think of if we're gonna end up having anything to deal with aliens. I don't think it's gonna be like ET or anything like that. It's probably gonna be more like Independence Day. So that's the way I view the whole thing with aliens, especially if they've crash landed here and we're like cutting them apart and doing stuff. I don't think they're gonna want to really deal with us in a friendly manner. You know, that's that's the way I feel about that. You know, I'll have to tell you though, for this their website here for Riggies, it's kind of very boring. So I think they might be able to do something with that. Let's see their locations. I bet they're all down in Texas and stuff, like I said. Let's see, they're on West 10. They're on Clay Road in Caddy, Texas. Oh, they have their fees. So monthly fees. So the other monthly fees actually posted here. It looks like the park here in Clay. It says just north of I-10 near Caddy. $275 a month for truck parking. That's pretty reasonable. I know places around here that you're parking in like a shit gravel non-lit area, and they're trying to charge these guys like $400 to $500 a month, $600 a month. So, North Forest Ridge, half mile south of I-10 in East San Antonio. That's coming soon. They don't have it yet or anything. Wow, spots are actually a bit different price too. I guess. Let's see. This one is on Horneberg Road, Houston, Texas. This is $225 a month, and then it said, and I don't know why it says so. It's $225 a month to park your truck, and then 10 plus spots. All right, so if you reserve 10 plus spots, you pay $200 a month per spot. So I mean, I guess this is fairly reasonable. For the most part, the price is $25 a day. So if you want to reserve a spot but you know what though, a lot of these spots are probably going to get taken up by people that park their equipment and stuff there. See, these are probably some of the first ones they've done because they're not exactly, they don't have like an actual layout. Like they're trying to get things down to a science, I guess. And this is like just looks like a long straight parking lot. It's not like their blueprints they got on the side there, what they're trying to do. So I think they're trying to make all of these like exactly the same, probably to help out with maintenance and just knowing where to park and how to park in these places. Let's look at the one north of I-10. Yeah, it's pretty much a long thing. Let's see. So it says you're able to view real-time video. You're able to view real-time video surveillance with an app. Their numbered spots, parking, numbered parking bays. They also have LED lighting, private gate access, 100-foot wide drive alleys, razor wire and barbed wire fencing. So, yeah, these are pretty legit parking areas. You're not just paying for a gravel lot. So, I'd have to say that Riggy's has something going for it. But guess what? They're all in Texas. So, they definitely seem like a company I would love to maybe get on and sponsor with and see if they can't grow into other states. That would definitely help out. I would be perfectly fine, especially for monthly fee for paying $275 a month to park my truck in a place like that. That seems pretty legit. Let's see here. Back out of here. So yeah, I know. I guess it's probably got a little boring, this live feed. I mean, I thought we probably get. Well, I was hoping Wilbur would stay in here for a little bit, but I know he's got stuff to do. I was kind of hoping that maybe F8 would see this and jump on. I'd like to talk to him a little bit and see how he's doing. But he's probably running. So I know we had Cash in here. He stopped by and graced me with his presence. Let's see, Chief Freight Hauler. Oh, where did you get the light strips that you put on the truck? Do they come in red? They come in any color you want. So there's red. We got green. We got blue. Orange. Pretty much Amazon. Just look for the ones on the outside. What I did is I bought a rock. What they call it? I think it's called like a rock light kit. And it comes with a control box and a remote. And then I just pretty much looked up the name of the provider of it and just bought the extra wiring for it and the lights the strip lights that'll work for it. There's like 3 different kind of plugs they use for the underglow lights, on Amazon. So you just got to get the ones that hook up. Either that or you have to actually cut it and splice them in together with little connectors and stuff. There's a lot of YouTube videos on about it. There's not really like a set you can just buy. I was looking at like a $400 RV set that looked fairly decent, but I don't know. I'm kind of cheap, so I kind of just built my own little thing here with this. And then the lights in here are just your generic, strip lights. And I might even change these out. I kind of want to get those. They're called neon ones. They're neon LED lights. You don't see the individual lights. It's just one nice little strip. I might put that in and get rid of this one. So it depends how much they irritate me. I'm kind of a stickler for having things look I don't know, but not facts, but just nice. Like this seems a little I mean, I would like it to look a little bit better, but I mean it does the job. Because I'll tell you what, the T680 has horrible interior lighting. You either got the giant light LED lights back here in the sleeper, and then you got the one side light over. Well, you have the T680, so especially up front, like you got the one side light, the map light over here, and that's it. Like if you're trying to film anything, you can't get enough light and stuff. It's just it's just horrible. Cheap Freight Hauler. I was looking at boogie lights, but they are a couple. Yeah. I can't do that for something that's going to probably crap out anyway. You know what I mean? It just I don't know. I couldn't do it. So I kind of just made my own thing. If it lasts a year or two, I'll be happy. I spent maybe between all the wires, and stuff, I spent maybe like $100, $120, on the whole thing. So to be honest, I bought this. This was all supposed to be done when I went to Matt, so I kind of like fit in and looked cool. And I didn't get around to it. I was too busy running before I got the mats. So, I just got bored on Memorial Day weekend and decided to throw them up. So I had like that little vacation there on Memorial Day. So that's when I started throwing some of this stuff up. Let's see here. Hold on, I gotta give the old lady some love. All right, I'm back. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I just threw a half-ass set up there just to make it look nice. I don't know, just to set it apart. So when the people that come on here and troll me and say they want to beat me up, it's so they can find my truck easier and beat me up or whatnot. I don't know. You think people would have something better to do, especially truck drivers right now? Like maybe try to keep your business afloat than worrying about following some guy around the country to beat him up because he says mean things about truck drivers that can't drive. I I don't know. You call out stuff for to be professional. You call out stuff because it's dangerous. I try not to get really anybody. I'm not going to call people's companies and stuff. I mean, the one guy did kind of call out, but that was just he had no idea what he was doing. Like literally no idea. He shouldn't have been on the road. He should still have been in training or whatever if he trained with that company. He My wife, my kids, they go down to Allentown. They drive on 78. They drive on 81. And I know that's where all the stupid idiots are at and stuff. And, I don't want someone to lose their whole family. A semi truck will easily take out a whole entire family. God forbid they're going on vacation and you have generations in like your grandparents. You could easily take out a whole family in a car with a semi truck. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's how I end up looking at it. Some of the bullshit that's said here on YouTube and stuff, I don't really think much of it. Uh, it just amazes me the total narcissism, narcissistic tendencies and things that some drivers have. They just think their shit don't stink and nothing should be called out. And I don't know. It bothers me. I don't want to get into this because then people are going to start hating on me and shit. Let's see here. There wasn't one article I know I was looking for. Something about well here. So FedEx and stuff is getting rid of a bunch of drivers and stuff and having problems keeping routes running. And they're going to raise their it says there's going to have hefty rate hikes in 2024. So yeah, that's that makes no sense. Oh, here we go. So the NHTSA, National Highway Association or whatever. Let's see, the side undercarriage analysis slammed by safety insurance advocates. So apparently, I guess they're still screwing around with this side undercarriage stuff. I thought we were done with this stuff, but apparently they're still trying to push this through. But apparently, what they have in place for the requirements, they're thinking about coming out with a side crash thing. They said it doesn't meet the requirements, and they want this stuff. Apparently they want this stuff like built out of reinforced steel or something. I don't know. They nothing like adding a couple thousand pounds to the trailer to make sure idiots don't drive underneath of it. How about this? Don't drive underneath the damn trailer. Like some of the stuff I can't even read. It just irritates me so bad. Um, common sense is gone, like freaking gone off into no man's land. Let's see, cheap freight hauler. Time for me to turn in. Have a great night. Hey, you too. Have a good night. Get some good sleep. Me, I'm pretty much after I deliver here. I'm going to head home. Home is about 75 miles back west. And yeah, I mean, I basically have Friday off, so I'm going to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know. I might take a load Sunday night. So we'll see about that. But I've pretty much been working. I took that extra load on Sunday to Hunts Point. That was supposed to just be a quickie, and get home. But we can see that didn't work out for me, huh? So I know I saw something else too. So national truck deal. So Arrow Truck Sales. They said they are getting out of Texas. So if you want to buy an Arrow truck in Texas, it looks like they are leaving Texas. Let me just click on this. I mean, it's nothing that crazy, but after 32 years in Texas, Arrow Truck Sales announced it's closing their branches across the Lone Star State. The closure is related to state law prohibiting motor vehicle manufacturers from. The closures are related to state law prohibiting motor vehicle manufacturers from also owning dealerships and selling vehicles directly to consumers. Arrow Truck Sales is a subsidiary of automaker Volvo. That I did not know. Wow, I did not know that. I did not know that they were a subsidiary of Volvo. Hmm. Though, I wonder if that's going to mess up Tesla, if you think about it, because Tesla manufactures and has their own dealerships, or whatever. So I wonder if that's going to have anything to deal with that. Yeah, so if you want to buy Arrow Truck Sales in Texas, it looks like they're pulling out. You would think Arrow Truck Sales would have a lot more Volvos and Macs on their lots then. I mean, I've browsed their online a few times, but doesn't seem like they have that many considering they're owned by Volvo. Let's see, organized chaos. Yeah, you gotta love. You're telling somebody about something with their truck over the CB and their comeback. Then here's their comeback. If you drive your truck, and I'll drive mine. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's just guys get very ignorant and full of themselves. And I'll take criticism. Hell, I give myself probably the worst criticism. About my truck or how I run my operation or anything like that. I guess I'll get a little bit better camera angle going on here. Look, like a lot of times I just call things out for people. It's just either so they don't kill somebody or get themselves in hot water. Like you don't have to necessarily kill somebody to be put behind jail behind bars as a truck driver. You just hurt them or be doing something. The freaking where's that book? I don't know. I got that green book. It's that big fat green book about almost if you screw up any of those regulations in there and a lawyer comes after you, you're getting charged with something. That's there's a saying that show me a man and I'll show you a law that they broke or something. I forget what that saying was, but there's a saying that basically says no matter what, I don't care who they are or whatever, we can find something in the books to charge them with. And that goes hand in hand for trucking. And I might be a dick about it when I call people out, like the guy that couldn't slide his tandems and was having a hard time. I mean, not only could he not do that, but like he looked the shot. I don't know. It was a certain kind of person who had baggy sweatpants on. They were like falling down to his knees and stuff. Like, just come on. If you're gonna do a job, at least do a job right. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to. People might view it a different way, the way I'm calling it out, but I mean, it's just just be a little bit of a professional. You know, this is your career, your job. I mean, you can still be comfortable. I mean, hell, I walk around in shorts. Usually now that I'm just doing, I'm not in flatbed. Well, sometimes in flatbed I would put shorts on if I could. But I got shorts. I got Under Armour Under Armour shirt on, Under Armour sneakers. You know, I'm just comfortable because all I really do is swing doors. So, but I at least I look somewhat presentable. I mean, I do look like I'm in casual wear, but um, I have jeans in there. I have jeans. I have boots. If it was like raining or snowing or something, I would have the jeans and the boots on and the button-down shirt, and but I've kind of, I don't know. I guess I've kind of looked at it this way. If you see some of the shit that's going on and walking around, guys walking into receivers and shippers just wearing a vest, their man boobies hanging out and their freaking chest hair and stuff. They're just going in with a freaking vest on and stuff. And here I am wearing boots, freaking high socks, jeans, and a button down and stuff, and an undershirt, looking all nice, professional for what? And they're gonna view me just as shitty as that guy most of the time anyway. So it's just it's just the way trucking is right now. Well, let's see. There's the EPA thing I was just reading about. Oh, it looks like Heartland Express. I guess they're going to have a driver pay protection. I guess they're doing so good. They're going to try to set in like a set rate that you're going to make every week. So good for Heartland. I mean, I'm pretty sure I think did they get bought out by somebody? I think some investment group bought Heartland out. So here, Fed reports more truck drivers are dying from not wearing a seatbelt. Well, yeah, if they freaking knew how to drive and weren't idiots, they wouldn't have to have to wear seatbelts. Really, anytime I see a truck accident anymore, they roll over like 5 or 6 times, crash through 20 cars. It's a freaking cluster every time. So the latest data says that 64% of large truck drivers killed in crashes were not wearing their seatbelt. Well, don't roll the truck over. That's simple. It would be nice if they did like a Q&A or something, or maybe a little bit of like an investigation into maybe just follow some like I'm sure they can follow the driving habits and tickets and stuff with some of these new CDL holders out of these schools and out of out of like Swift and Prime and all that. I'm sure they can follow their record. And I know some of it's kept hush hush within the company, but I'm sure they could do some kind of study to see how bad they really are and whether or not they even know what the hell they're doing. That would be a nice study to have. Why don't we just nip the problem in the butt from the start and quit bothering everybody else? Organized chaos. Tesla gets around that Texas regulation because they don't have dealerships there. Their showrooms, everything in. Oh, so everything's online in Texas. Okay, all right, I can see how they get away with that then. I still have yet to drive a Tesla. I've been meaning to like actually take one out on like a test drive for like 24 hours. Organized chaos. And that manufacturer regulations were so that they couldn't overprice vehicles like how dealerships are doing now. Yeah, you mean with the crazy upcharges and stuff, especially with like the Hummers, the Broncos, where the dealers are just adding $10,000 markups on them. I mean, though, technically, supply and demand, and if you can't afford an extra $10,000 for a brand new Bronco, probably shouldn't be buying a Bronco, to be honest with you. to be honest, the days of what your Ford Tauruses, being like $25,000 family cars and stuff, those days seem like they're coming to an end. In my opinion, it's getting a little ridiculous, just a tad bit. Well, what was it the other day? I was reaching the average car payment in the United States. I think it's like $750 a month. Also, people are keeping their vehicles longer. They said the average person now keeps their vehicle 12 years, which I can see why that's happening. Organized chaos. Feet up on the dash and phone in the hand is also a major contribution to factors. Well, your feet, the windshield might stop you from flying through the window. If you have your feet up on the dash. Don't forget like the 19-inch tablet that they got like sitting on the dashboard too, watching. I forget what they call that crap. Whatever it is, But hey, it's what they do in their country. They come out, they drive. I drive truck in my country. I come over here and drive truck. Well, there's other things going on over here. I don't know. It's hard to like I feel bad trying to call this out because I already know what way people probably view it, and I'm not. I just want transparency. That's all I ask for in the trucking community, especially with like the FMCSA and stuff like that. So if you're going to go after some of this crap, why don't you just nip in the butt in the beginning? Nip it right from the source. Nip the training, nip the drug regulations and stuff. Just nip it right in the butt, right from the get-go. Instead of just pussyfoot around all these laws and regulations. And all they really do is just somehow these laws and regulations always come out and screw the long-term career-minded truck driver or the long-term owner or operator or something. They always somehow come and bite us in the butt. We're the ones that get stuck with the problems. And these new hires, I don't know, they just get around it. They're always given the blind eye. I don't know, maybe they get it because the companies they're working for or whatnot, but it just seems like it's all the time. It just keeps happening over and over and over. Bollywood, yeah. I missed one too. Organized chaos. Ford dealerships. Yep. And Chevy's doing it with the Hummers and stuff, and it's just supply and demand, and the wealthy can afford those cars, and they can afford, if they really want the car, they can afford the extra 10 grand. And you know what? To be honest with you, I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, if you're just a normal Joe Schmo, and you're having a hard time paying an extra $10,000 for your Ford Bronco, you shouldn't be buying a Ford Bronco. So, you know what I'm saying. It'd be like me. Technically, even paying with this truck and stuff, I could probably go out and get a brand new truck payment, pickup truck payment, $1,000 a month or whatever. Am I going to do it? No. And to be honest, I don't know. I'm actually thinking right now maybe buying another pickup truck, but just paying cash. I might just buy like a $3,000 just beater pickup truck. Because I'm never really around to drive it anyway. All it's going to do is either haul quads around or, I'll put a trailer on it and haul the side-by-sides around or something. It's not going to really do anything. Maybe I'm thinking about buying a camper, like a used camper, and taking the kids, maybe by the end of summer, maybe next year. I don't know. I'll see. Taking them out to Yellowstone or doing something like that, like a month-long little camper vacation, just to show the kid, show them what I've seen and experienced here. Show them that this country actually has more to offer than just than just the East Coast, I guess. But that's for another topic, really. I mean, I don't know. Really, anything goes right now. I was hoping to get somebody in here really flamboyant and have kind of like not a devil advocate, but just kind of like shoot the shit really good back and forth. Make something worthy to watch. I know I'm kind of like fizzling out here because, like I said, if I had a laptop, I would probably legitimately be coming down through some of these articles and showing them actually on the screen and stuff. That's kind of like really what I wanted to do. Let me see here. Something about C.H. Robinson here. Let me go through here a bit. C.H. Robinson. I think they're trying to predict the freight market here. I think that's what this guy's trying to say. No, it doesn't really say. They're just trying to promote event. So they're trying to promote future of supply chain, June 21st, 22nd, at the Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know. It doesn't say where it's at, but it's in Cleveland, Ohio, in-person event. So yeah, that's being hosted by C.H. Robinson. So here's who's going to be here at this event here. I guess let's see, C.H. Robinson putting on. So Amazon, Caterpillar, C.H. Robinson, Ford, and Harley Davidson. I guess. Well, I guess they don't. I thought I was going to have some talking points there, but I mean that'd probably be a good event to maybe at least pop your head in and see. Yeah, there ain't nothing there good in there. I thought there was gonna be something good in there to talk about. Well, maybe the outlook here, the outlook on freight futures. But it seems like nobody's really been talking about it lately. A lot of stuff about freight tech. Geez, at this point, I might as well just read you guys something about the forest fires. Those kind of popped up out of nowhere. No, I just saw something that was a good topic here. Yeah, I know it's kind of a boring live. I'm kind of like I said. I was hoping I'd get somebody here in Flamboyant. Really, I was hoping that the freight coach. Pretty sure that's his name. I was hoping he would have saw what the comments that I left him in his live and maybe just hopped on over here and checked my channel out and maybe popped in because he definitely had some very good information about a way a freight broker works and ways to help you out and stay afloat as a carrier right now. And he was making a point that most of the loads that are on the load boards, it's just crap right now. His network that he's built and his company's built, like 90% of the freight never even reaches the load board. He has carriers that he just pulls up a list, picks off calls up, makes like a contract with them or has a rate confirmation signed and just goes from there. These are trusted carriers that they've used time and time again. And that's pretty much the name of the game right now. At least for people looking for the people that are new in this with their authority. That's you guys are the ones that are going to be definitely hurting through all this. Guys that have older authorities that have some kind of I don't know, not want to say experience, but at least there's a history they can look at. A lot of these brokerages, they'll retain you, they'll keep you, because they're all worried about double brokering now and schemy stuff too. So at least if you have an older authority and you've done plenty of loads for some of these brokers, you might get on that list and be able to constantly have them call you up and offer you decent loads instead of this spot market freight that's been going on. So yeah, I was hoping he would probably come on here, but I don't know. Maybe I did throw my email in there real quick at the end, so maybe he just didn't see it before he stopped his live. Dewey pile has grown, but the LTL carrier remains focused on the Northeast. Yep. I would not just branch out in the middle of nowhere right now, and I would just stay where you're at. Oh, here we go. Navistar, good old Navistar, is recalling 92,000 trucks and buses for ABS issues. That poor freaking company. Oh man, can't win. Oh wow, here we go. So C.H. Robinson reportedly, C.H. Robinson just brought in somebody from Ford for a Ford executive to be their new CEO. I don't know how that has anything to do with brokering, but you know, uh, you think you'd probably bring somebody in, maybe there was a carrier or something, or ran another brokerage. It's adding up. Fewer trucking transportation jobs in May and June than January. So it looks like trucking jobs are getting a little thin here. So maybe I'll click on that. Let's see what's going on here with that. So this could definitely affect a lot of us. And it also shows how the market's going. Let's see. March was also revised down to 1,670,000 jobs, from 1,609,500 jobs. So it looks like since January, there's been a steady decline of about a million to about a half a million. About 500,000 to 250,000 jobs. So in the trucking community, that's like I said, I was telling Carlos there, since he was new, it's going to be kind of hard to get into some of these LTL carriers and stuff right now with the way things are going. Especially with consumer confidence. They're not going to just start throwing millions of people. Here we go. Here's a good one. Saya's second quarter update. Oh, geez, this thing's jumping all over the place. Blah, blah, blah. Well, if I had a little scrolly thing on the side, maybe I can grab it. There we go. Get back down here. Yeah, professionalism here. Saya's second quarter update suggests the worst of downturns in review. Less than truckload carrier Saya reported another mostly strong decline for the month of May, suggesting the worst of the industry's demand may be coming focused into the review mirror. Saya's spokesman says that if the demand continues to decline at this rate, it's going to mean the worst for the industry as a whole. Saya's NASDAQ numbers are down 2% over year in May, combined with a 4% decline in shipping and a 2.3% increase in weight per shipment. The company also provided final results as of April and saw a 1.1% decline in tonnage. So shipping is down. So overall, shipping is down 5.7%. With a partial offset of 4.9% in the following month of July. So they don't see. So Saya's looks like they're slowing down a little bit on their rates of shipping and everything. So these are all pointers to the economy and how the economy's doing, guys. I don't think it's going to get better. It doesn't look like anything in here says that rates are getting better. And I'm just randomly going. These aren't even all Freight Labs articles. These are all articles from all kinds of different sources. Right here, state of freight as of May, no signs of second half recovery, and that's Freight Waves just doing their little thing. And I know they like to get out there and make everything look bad, but there's no market. What do you want to call it? there's no way to measure the market right now because, like I said, this market is totally different from all past markets and everything. It's no one knows what's going to happen. To be honest, the way I see it for everyone is we should all prepare for the worst. Even I'm kind of preparing, where I'm at. I don't really have a plan B though. Like after this, there ain't nothing else for me. What, I'm going to jump on the spot market. About the only thing I could do is probably get my authority and see if I can get my own dedicated customer back, and maybe wiggle my way back over into the pole yard there and run some utility poles. But like I said, there's already people that undercut me way too much over there. I don't think it'd be worth my while to even probably try to get in there. Used truck prices. What was up has come down, way down. Used truck prices, which a year ago approached unheard of auction and retail prices, have crashed to earth. Soft spot market rates. Let's see. Practically unfeathered new truck production and drivers giving up their authorities are all factors. Some fleets and dealers saw the reversal coming. After months of carefully controlled order intake and new trucks, manufacturers opened orders books to new bookings. Carriers running their trucks beyond the typical 3 to 4 year trade-in cycles could plan replacement purchases. So these they're talking about, how most of the carriers held their trucks probably for 5 or 6 years, got them up in the high mileage and stuff. Now they're actually opening, they finally were able to actually open their books for new purchases. PACCAR Inc., the partnership of Peterbilt, Kenworth, and Europe DAF Trucks, expects to deliver 51,000 to 54,000 new units in the quarter, which ends in June 30th. Some supply constraints remain, but generally improved circumstances are expected as the year progresses. PACCAR CEO Peterson Freight said on the earnings call at April 25th. The availability of trucks means more used trucks are being offloaded, and that pushes down prices. Well, there we go. Supply and demand. There's been a heavy depreciation of the. There's been a heavy decompression. Depression of the meat on the truck market. I don't know what they're trying to get. I guess they're trying to view it as like meat on the bone. Market since the second quarter of 2022. Chris Veers, director of specialty vehicles at JD Power and Services, told FreightWaves, dealers have adapted to the depreciation in some sense that the smart ones saw the market shifting happening and did the best thing they could do and get out from underneath their high valued inventory before it went upside down. So yeah, so like a lot of these dealerships are stuck with all these trucks that ain't worth nothing. The banks are stuck with all these trucks that aren't worth nothing. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more going on here than it meets the eye. It's not like these banks are just taking us on the chin. So clearly weak freight volumes and rates coupled with new vehicle sales that are plummeting supplies into the used market are not the combination of factors requiring to support used vehicle prices. Kenny Veal, president of senior analyst at Act Resources, told FreightWaves. I don't know what the hell that. Okay, thanks FreightWaves. Well, what the hell is Act Resources? Power's latest data for the used CDL Class 8 truck shows that April over March auction prices fell between 2.1 and 11% for a benchmark of 3 to 7 years old trucks. So losing 11% of value, that's a pretty good stump there. Only 2001 model only 2001 models are bucking the trend, raising 1.72 or $15,000 in April compared to March. So 2001 trucks, used trucks, are actually went up in value. Used trucks. Late model trucks sold for 8% less in April than March, and 48.5% less than April of 20. So, so trucks in April this year are selling at 48.5% less than they were in April of 2022. 48.5% less. That's huge. That's 50% basically. So, yeah, definitely truck prices have definitely fallen. Since March, Victor said Power has seen a swell of trucks going to the used market, relatively easy to identify as being from at least one large fleet. Those trucks are currently a factor in the price downturn. So apparently there's a very large fleet that decide to trade in their trucks. I don't know why they won't just tell you who the fleet is, but there's some giant fleet apparently. It's probably Swift or something that flooded the market too with trucks. So that's probably not really good for Sush. So yeah, if you could afford it, right now is probably the best time to buy a truck. But if you have cash laying around or credit, how about this? If you have credit, you can get a really good rate on a used truck right now. It's probably the best time to buy a truck because inevitably, what comes up must go down. Now, is it going to come up in a few months? Is it going to come up in a year? Is it going to come up in 5 years? That's the big difference. So I know I'm probably boring a lot of you right now with this crap. So I'm just gonna exit out of here. Anyway, I'm basically telling you stuff you guys already knew for the most part. Houston Transportation Committee authorized $755,000 in truck parking somewhere around Houston. So looks like Texas is definitely getting a bunch of truck parking spots, which I know are desperately needed. Fighting double brokering starts with strong partnerships. Right there. There you go. So to fight scams and to ward off double brokering, it looks like their brokers are now developing strong partnerships with their essential carriers. So there you go. That's probably might help you. You know, if you're in with a brokerage or something, it might keep your company. You know, add that little bit of extra sauce, I guess, if you want to call it that, into your relationship with a broker. Since you're already set up with a broker, you've done tons of loads, and there's so much scammy stuff going on. Looks like that brokerages are mostly trying to just that's going to hurt new guys coming into this, new guys with authorities and stuff. It's gonna really hurt you guys. But for the most part, it looks like this might actually be a little bit better for the rates for some people. If brokers going to start staying off the spot market and using just their in-house carriers, it's if you're part of them, it looks like at least there's a little bit of a silver lining, I guess, in that whole situation. Bull of the Woods, saltwater taffy from the Oregon coast. Oh my! Yeah, I have a different opinion about saltwater taffy. I don't love Jersey or anything, but I have plenty of fond memories of Cape May, Wildwood, Ocean City. So as far as I'm concerned, they probably have a lot better saltwater taffy than Oregon. I don't need any fentanyl in my saltwater taffy. Well, I think we all heard about this one. Did you guys hear about the Texas Appeal Court that upheld the $100 million judgment against Warner, and then that truck that went across the median in the snowstorm and hit the driver and everything? I don't know. Maybe I should really read about that story before I talk about it, because a lot of people were saying that that there was a ban on trucks. I don't think there was. It's happened so long ago, this thing. So maybe there was. Maybe I'm not, in the right on that. But I'll tell you what, if there wasn't a truck ban and this guy was just driving down the road, minding his business on the other side, and somebody came through the median and crashed into a truck head on, that's, shit. Why? No wonder insurance companies don't want to insure us. For me to view the trucking industry from an insurance company's point of view, it's like, how can you even win? If people are crashing through medians coming head on into your insuree's truck, and you can't do nothing about it. Oh, right here it says it's a 5-year-old judgment. 5 years they've been fighting against this. Hello, now it's legit. Bull of the woods. Yes, for the most part I go home every weekend. I mean, I don't have to. I can, like I said, last Sunday I did something real easy. That paid, technically was probably paid like $1,200. It paid more because I got detention or layover. But I went into New York there in Hunts Point to do a quick delivery, and it didn't turn into a quick delivery. But yeah, I'm pretty much home. I'm home every weekend. It helps that the DC's like a 20-minute drive or 25-minute drive from my house. In the semi truck, it's about 30 minutes. So yeah, the DC is about 30-minute drive from my house. I think it's like 25 miles or 23 miles, something like that. CEO sounds alarm on bank crisis impacting carriers. Well, like I said, I knew this was going to come. The bank crisis. With all these banks holding all these freaking trucks that are getting repossessed. Oh, it looks like one of these banks that have failed has. I should have read this before I did this. Like I said, I'm going along with the flow here, just trying to keep you guys entertained. I know it's kind of boring right now. Like I said, I was hoping my good old buddy F8 or somebody would pop on here, or Truckin' Reviews. My buddy over there, he's probably, I don't know, he might be watching me. He's probably driving though. That's where I usually do the best. Some back and forth, bullshitting and talking. This is kind of, well, like I said, if I had the laptop, I'd probably show you guys a lot of these articles, and it'd be a little bit more proper, like professional. I know I'm probably boring a lot of you because I see everyone dropping off here. But I don't know. I'm gonna, I guess, let's get away from trucking talk a little bit, shall we? I guess since I'm going into this 3.5 hours. I don't think I'm gonna have any. Not gonna have any sponsors here anytime soon. I can tell you that. Let's see here. Bull of the Woods. They had a super ego wreck just outside the town where I live. Shut down the interstate. The weird thing is the weather was mid 70 degrees, clear skies, and dry roads. A mild afternoon. Well, that's the best time to have wrecks. That's usually when they happen. Man, you should have seen me Memorial Day weekend driving down 81 from Pennsylvania into Harrisonburg, Virginia. Probably about 4 or 5 decent wrecks on that road, on my side and on the other side. Nice, bright, 80-degree, sunny day, straight road. It's just when people come the most complacent, especially on the weekend. Everyone's in a hurry. They don't, they just think about getting where they got to go, and they don't actually calculate physics into their driving habits. So, it turns into a shit show. See, some of these are kind of old. These the news I'm reading. Like this one, unusual, terrible freight market may get worse. Yeah, I don't even want to bother reading that. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing the doom and gloom of the trucking. Like if there was something in here that I could find that was good, my tailbone's starting to hurt sitting in here. There was something good I could find. I would definitely try to jump on that. But man, I tell you what, at least so far for trucking, about the best thing we had is those 84 truck parking spots in West Memphis. There's some stuff about Yellow's credit rating dropping because they're negotiating with unions. C.H. Robinson lays off 300 more employees. Canadian officials are trying to get rid of the Trucker Inc. scam, which basically Canadian up there, they're trying to get rid of the predatory lease purchases and stuff. Which I'm sure it's even worse up there. Thinking about some of the crap they got going up there, I bet you Will Burner knows all about that crap. Yeah, it's just the same old shit. I mean, I'll be probably better off just pulling up the news at this point because we already know how it is out here. The woods. Yep. Complacency is the biggest factor for sure. Yep. Take care going in the store. Hey, you too, Bill the Woods. Y'all see ya. So I think we're fizzled out here. Unless anybody wants to actually jump on here and talk about a real meaningful topic. I knew eventually I would get burned out if nobody hopped in here. Like I said, I was waiting for. Really, I was hoping that freight coach would pop in here. That's really what I was hoping for. And give you guys some meaningful ideas and insight into the brokerage world. Yeah, you too, Bull of the Woods. Take care. Be be safe out there. Keep the sunny side down. Yeah. So this is what it's about. Trucking. Get to sit here at what are we? 11 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock at night, and I'm already checked in. And they said that they might try to get me in here at 9. Obviously, they get me here at 9. So, yeah, that sure as hell didn't happen. So I'm probably gonna be definitely sitting here until 2 o'clock in the morning, twiddling my thumbs, because I'm the type of guy that kind of wakes up religiously at 5 o'clock, and if I have nothing to do, I'll go back to bed. But once I'm up, I'm up. And today, like I said, I had no reason to get up for, so I ended up going back to sleep. So I am super wired and ready to go. That all day I've been like that, and I had nothing really to do except I knew I was going to have to come here and sit till 2 a.m. And I really don't want to. I don't know. I really don't want to try to lay down because then I will get tired, and then I will decide not to freaking drive home. And even though it's only 75 miles away, it's just it's a never-ending spiral, and I want to actually do something with my day tomorrow. So, let's find something a little more interesting to do here. Shit. So how about it? We got 7 people in the house. Anybody in here? Are you a regular? Are you new to the channel? You got any comments, topics you'd like to bring up? Any information? You're obviously in here watching, so either you're here to troll me, or you're here to maybe to gain some knowledge. Oh man, no, I'm talking about how many people are in here. It's going down. Well, for the most part, this live's been pretty good lately for a podcast, but I think we're going to call it a night. It's about 11 o'clock, unless somebody really interesting jumps on here and we can get a good topic started. I know a lot of you guys like to listen to these podcasts while you're driving. So, like I said, I know it's getting kind of boring here, and I'm kind of getting tired of hearing this out of my own voice too. So, this is Jackknife TV, the Jackknife Truckin podcast. If you can, I'm going to try to be here pretty regular, maybe on Fridays, maybe not this Friday, but I'm going to try to do this at least once a week, maybe twice a week, just do a little podcast. And hopefully next time I got a laptop and I can get some actual talent on here to maybe go back and forth and talk about some subjects that'll help you guys out, or maybe improve the trucking industry somehow. We'll see how this goes. I appreciate everybody for stopping in. The four that are left here, thank you for hanging on. And I'm going to get out of here. So you guys all take care and have a good night. Before you jump out of here, you four that are left, please hit the like button. And, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I got, plenty of videos coming. And, thanks for stopping by, everyone.